Go.
All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom called America. If you read the Bible, you will see that America is called Babylon. All right? And it has a judgment coming to it. Now, we are here to wake up the hopeful elect. But before we do so, we come out of the Bible, the King James Bible, the word of the Most High, whose name is Yahweh and his son's name is Yahushua. So we want to give praises to the Most High by saying Kal, Halayim, La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma'amah. All right, double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders, and Shalom to you Akim and Akwatim and children that believe in sincerity and in truth and are moving in the spirit of repentance, man, and the children that believe also around the four corners of the earth. Now, we come out here to wake up our people. Now, is the Lord looking for everyone? No. Anybody got that present that body as living sacrifice? Right, the Lord's not looking for everybody.
Got it.
All right, and what you're going to find out, according to the King James Bible, is that the Lord is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. And his name is Yahushua. All right, go ahead, brother, bring that up real quick.
This is Romans chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 1.
Right.
It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of the Most High, that ye present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Right, that's a reasonable service of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that's scattered around the four corners of the earth. You're supposed to be out teaching your people, trying to wake them up to the ways of old, the ways of Moses, the ways of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, not following the ways of this wicked kingdom that was created by the so-called white man Esau. That's their biblical name. All right, they're Edomites. They were born red with no pigmentation. They're Edomites. Now today, you have a lot of our people mingled amongst them. So we don't go according to color like the Black Panthers do. All right? The scriptures call the children of Israel a speckled bird, meaning we look like all the other nations, because that's what our people do. We go amongst the nations and we mingle and started looking like them. All right? Now, you have a lot of things happening on the world, on the earth. A lot of prophecies kicking off. All right, just like the other day, matter of fact, go ahead, read that in Matthew. The other day you had Turkey start an offensive out in Syria. And yesterday you had somebody bomb an Iranian oil tanker, which caused the oil price to skyrocket. All right, so what is that scripture, man? Let's get that real quick.
This is Matthew 24:6.
Right.
And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right, you people try to ignore it, but y'all hear the news. Y'all radio stations gonna put it in your face soon. The wars and rumors of wars, man. That's happening right now. All right, go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right, so the children of Israel, the hopeful elect, they're not gonna be troubled. All right, they're not gonna be troubled. Why? Because the scriptures say knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time. And we have a hope of salvation. And he says what? All these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, man. All right, what's the end? The end is when they push that RFID chip. The end is when them nuclear missiles are hitting America. The great judgment day. The deliverance of the children of Israel from around the four corners of the earth. That's the day he's talking about. All right, keep going.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
Right, you're hearing about Saudi Arabia rising up against Iran. You're hearing about Syria going against the Kurds. Or Turkey going against the Kurds. America leaving the Kurds hanging when they use the Kurds to go against Bin Laden and them. Or what were they called? ISIS. Yeah, they used the Kurds to go against ISIS. And now they basically abandoning the Kurds. So Turkey said, you know what? We're gonna go in there and take the Kurds area. We're gonna take northern Syria. And that's all prophetic, leading to the war of Armageddon. Which means the valley of mountain of troops, where the Lord gonna gather all the world's armies at and have them fight there, where the Lord gonna show up in the midst of that. So that lets you know what times we in. So now you have the Ottoman Turks, which are Edomites, Turkey. They're trying to, that guy, what's his name, Edrigin, whatever his name is. They actually worship that man over there in Turkey. And he called himself trying to rebuild the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman Empire. That's what he's trying to do by take that area of northern Syria. And really, it's a setup by America for them to pull Israel into the mix and have them go against Iran. Now you have Saudi Arabia and Iran going tit for tat, bombing each other, all to bring Israel into the midst. So what scripture is that? Somebody get Jeremiah 49 and Jeremiah 50, I think it is.
49 and what?
I think so, right? It should be. I can't remember exactly where, but I think it's 12. He said, the least of them shall draw them out. Let me see. I'm going to try to pull it up. Jeremiah 49 and 20. Now we're going to get Jeremiah 50 and 45 too. To back it up.
50.
Right?
49 and 20.
Yep, because this is a judgment coming upon Esau. All right? Wait, he says to lead them, draw them into perdition. All right, go ahead, brother.
God, it's Jeremiah 49, verse 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, that he hath taken against Edom.
Right, who's Edom? The children of Edom are Esau, the so-called white man, the so-called Caucasian race today. All right? So the Lord has a judgment against all of them. And how is he going to bring them down? He's going to have them destroy themselves. They're going to set a trap that's going to bring them their own self down. It's going to destroy America, which is going to destroy their riches, their wealth, their power seat. Going to bring them down from America to NATO, all the way over to the European Union. But it's going to start with America, Babylon. That's the judgment that's coming upon Esau. Go ahead, brother.
That he have taken against Edom and his purposes, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman.
Right, the inhabitants of Teman. All right, so that's basically talking about you damn Edomites. And now today, America will represent Edom. All right, or Teman. Go ahead, brother.
Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out.
Right, and who's the least of the flock? Is it those Israelis over there? Is it those Jesuits? No, it would be people like Turkey. And then you would have people like the fake Jews. All right, because they're Amalek, the chief house. So you got the Turkish, the Ottoman Turks, starting a war against the Syrians, which will be the Aramaeans. Can you come up some up? The original Chaldeans. All right, which today they became Kurds. They call themselves the Kurds. They call themselves Palestinians. Was that land of Palestine used to be called the land of Philistine. So the Philistine. So today you have Edom going against the Aramaeans, fighting over that land called Northern Syria, which is going to lead them into Armageddon. All right, go ahead, brother.
It's back at Jeremiah 49 and 20. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them.
That's right, man. So the Lord is going to make all the inhabitations of Esau desolate because of their own greed, because of their own death and destruction that they want to bring upon the earth, ultimately cutting off their own foot. Somebody got that in Jeremiah?
50 and 45? Yeah. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that he hath taken against Babylon.
Right, so Babylon is America. So that judgment that's coming upon Esau is going to start with America. All right, go ahead.
And his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely you shall make their habitation desolate with them.
There you go, man. So the least of them, who is that talking about? People like Turkey. People like them damn, the fake Jews in our land today. All right? The French. All these Edomite nations are drawing themselves into these wars, man. Go ahead, brother.
Quick interjection. This Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Right. So America, these Edomites that run America, they're enlarging their desire as hell. Anywhere you see Esau, they enlarge their desires as hell. Turkey going into Syria, they're enlarging their desires as hell, man. They bring hell anywhere they go, these so-called white people, these Edomites. All right? Anywhere they enlarge their desires, they bring hell upon it, which is sorrow and suffering. And they call it a constant war. Anywhere they call it, they bring war, and they keep it there consistently. That's a room and a space for them to bring what? Order and rulership. Order out of chaos. All right?
Quick interjection.
Yep, they can easily bring them troops from over there, but they keep sending them troops over there. They send a bunch more troops to Syria. Why? Because they want control. They bring the chaos, then they try to gain control, man. But it's all ultimately going to bring their demise in Armageddon. Go ahead, brother.
No,
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, somebody get Joel 3 and 2.
Right there, I was just about to bring it down.
All right, good, come on, brother.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 2.
Yep.
I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
That's right, man. So this is all the Father's will and His doing. All right, what in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon, one. What's that? Revelations. I can't remember offhand. I think 14. No, 3 and 10.
Revelation 3 and 10?
Yeah, I think so. It might be. I could be wrong. I'm thinking about something else. Man. But I'm gonna go back to that too in a minute. Like we were. No, that's not it.
I thought it was in Joel.
They say,
Right here?
Yeah.
I got you. This is
yeah, there you go.
Revelation 16 and 16.
There you go, 16 and 16. Yeah.
This is Revelation chapter 16, verse 16.
Right.
And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon.
Armageddon.
Shalakia.
Right? Can you read that again?
This is Revelation chapter 16, verse 16.
Right.
And he gathered them together into a place called, in the Hebrew tongue, Armageddon.
That's right, man. So, what was he saying? Okay, that's not it. So now you have, what does the word Armageddon mean in the Hebrew? Armageddon, which means mountain of troops. This is the gathering of troops. And it's the Father's will. He's bringing them there. What's that? The king's heart is in the hands of the Most High. Yeah, the king's heart is in the hands of the Most High. Yeah, you got it. The king's heart is in the hands of the... No, not that one.
I got it.
Good.
This is Proverbs 21 and 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turned it whithersoever he will.
Right, so now the Lord has steered the course of Esau's desire to bring about his own demise. All right, the course that Esau was going in life, now he led it to his own tail. That devouring, that he basically eating his own ass.
Like a dog.
Like a dog licking his own ass. So he's destroying himself, man. All right, now go back to Joel real quick. So you have Turkey, by them striking Syria, that's the Most High bringing about the prophecies. You know, because he wanted to destroy America. Bringing it one step closer. And that shows that the work that you're doing is not in vain. That's why we got to keep pushing. All right? Because the more we see these prophecies come to pass, that means another brother has woken up to the truth. All right? Because that's what's holding back the winds. Go ahead, brother.
All right. This is Joel 3 and 1. It says, for behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat.
Right, so now we're in that time of the Lord bringing our captivity back into mind. All right? Bringing that captivity. Somebody got a slavery song? Hold that up, Babaku Shah. All right, that's our captivity. You see that? And now he's bringing that into mind. Why? The judgment. He said, what? Prepare slaughter? Yep. So it's a slaughter coming on all you Edomites. for the judgment that what's that, Obadiah? For that violence against our brother Jacob?
Yeah, somebody else get the Isaiah.
Yep.
I'll get the Obadiah.
Yep, I know you got Isaiah, bro.
I got Isaiah.
I got it. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquities of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world with cities.
Right, so that's what the Lord is doing. The scriptures say they shall build, but the Lord is going to throw down. Ultimately, it's to get you to this point, Esau. That's what you're doing. When you go in there to make a move on these nations, and ultimately, when you try to make a move on the children of Israel, on the men of the Lord with martial law, every move you make, the Lord gonna be right there to meet you. He said, hell has come up to meet thee at thy coming. Every little step you take, the Lord gonna be there. Like Bobby Brown.
All right, ready? All right, this is Obadiah chapter 1, verse 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee.
Right. So all the people that were at peace with thee a couple years back, you'll see Bush, you'll see Obama and Russia chilling. You'll see China chilling with America and Trump. Right? All these nations were in collusion together with Turkey. Now Turkey's playing both sides. Russia's against America, and now America's so afraid of Russia now, they just broke off their agreement with Russia yesterday. They say Russia can no longer do flybys over America, reconnaissance missions. All right, because they're afraid of Russia dropping a bomb. So, all right, so all the nations are against America, man, and that's prophecy, man. So us seeing these things happening, you say wars and rumors of wars, we read that?
Yeah, get it again?
Yeah, one more time, Babakasha. Then we'll go,
This is Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
right, so these things must come to pass, man. So you're gonna have Armageddon breaking out. It's gonna lead to what? World War III, where they start shooting missiles off. All right, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, are gonna fly from country to country. That's gonna be the climax of the war, according to Psalms 91. All right, can somebody get Ezekiel 38? We was done with Joel too.
Yeah,
3 and 2.
Obadiah.
Yeah, look at that.
All right. It says, Obadiah 1 and 7, it says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Right.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Right, and that's what all these nations, they're saying what? Scripture say, let the weak say I'm strong. Yup, let's get this real quick. So now they're all saying they're strong in technology and missiles, and missile defense shields. They're strong in their economy. They're stronger than America. They're strong in resources. And they're strong as a unity. America's a divided nation. It's not even a real nation. The Iranians, they stick together. United States is what? A United States. Nobody and everybody's divided here, spiritually and culturally. So it's a melting pot, just like Babylon was. Go ahead.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men.
Right, so we proclaiming it through this word. All right, he said all the prophets of old prophesied against the kingdom. I know you know that one. You got it. Oh, 1 second. Can you bring it? Wait, 1 second. Let's bring it real quick. We're gonna bounce around through spirit.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, and I'm gonna start at verse 7.
Right.
Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thy ears,
Wait, so lift up the banner upon the high
and
mountain.
in the ears of all the people, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of wars, and of evils, and of pestilence.
Right. So every time the Lord is about to bring judgment to a place, he sends his prophets out to give the judgment or to give the testimony or the warning, right? And to watch for the people, to give them warning.
Oh, 13.
And to what? And to what? And to speak prophecy, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, to speak things before they happening. Go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see.
Right, so he saw America being destroyed. Right, the burden. Yeah. Rip apart. Go ahead, bring it out, brother.
God, it's Isaiah 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right, and what's the gates of the nobles? The gates of the nobles represents what? City Hall, their highways and byways, the chief place of concourse, which we might get into later. You know, Proverbs chapter 1. The marketplace. So they may go into the gates of their nobles. So he said, what? Lift ye up a banner. That banner is the scriptures. The word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that high mountain, that exalted mountain, that foundation is America, where the founding fathers were all devils. The founding fathers were all Edomites. All right? Robbing, stealing, and killing. And she got a USA shirt on. Ain't that messed up? All right? Hey, you got to wear it. Wow. So he say, that's how we proclaim this among the Gentiles. Go ahead, brother. He said, are you already ready? You was done, right? I'm going to
proclaim. Yep. This is Joel. I'm starting back from the top.
All right.
This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
There you go. So the Lord, grant a missile sign, Babaka shot somebody. So the Lord has had them what? Come up with these missiles to bring about the ultimate judgment.
Isaiah 54:17.
Yep. The ultimate judgment, which is going to be the judgment of the great whore, America. Fire is coming to this place, the land of the dead. Everything everybody's doing in this place is vanity. Everything you building, everything you imagine, all your devices, all the things you hope for, it has nothing to do with the kingdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. He said, those that hope for righteousness, you're going to receive that, because that's what's coming here. We hoping for a new Jerusalem, a new heaven and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. And if you're not hoping for that, then all your hope is vanity. All your living is vain. Everything that you're doing is as the dust, man. There's no difference between you and the people in the grave catching worms, getting ate up. Go ahead, brother.
Joel 3:10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears.
Right, let's see what those spears are. Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 54:17.
Yep.
It says, no weapon that is formed against thee, verse 16. This is Isaiah 54, verse 16.
Yep.
It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument of his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
All right. So the Lord created what? The scientists, got a little stronger too, y'all. And the scientists to create these missiles. All right, that's why you're hearing about missiles, because that's judgment time. All right? That's judgment time coming to this place. And those, what are they called? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. So that's why these nations are rising up against each other. That's why they they transfer all their resources into what? War. You know, nuclear arms race, regular arms race. Building up that nuclear, what is that called? Enrichment. That's why you've been hearing these terminologies. That's all the judgment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's his true name. His name is not Jesus. Jesus is the devil. That's what Esau threw in our face, the so-called white man. All right? The Lord's name is Yahushua, so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, who's about to make his return. Go ahead, that was it on that, right?
I just had a little bit.
Go ahead, brother. Come on, bring that fire.
All right, this is Joel chapter 3, verse 10.
Right, because you got a lot of prophecies happening right on this earth, and our people still asleep. Go ahead.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
That's right, man. So the Lord has his angels coming down, because without the angels, these things wouldn't be happening. The Most High sends his angels, and they, what's that word, intervene, and they change the course of humanity. Daniel, you rule the kingdom of men?
4:17.
Right, they alter the course of humanity, and they make it go towards his prophecies. Go ahead, brother.
This is Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This is a matter by the decree of the watchers and a demand by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men.
So that shows that the Most High is controlling all of this. And now the time that we're coming into, the Lord is putting you Edomites down, and he's about to lift us up. But to do that, he has to destroy their kingdom. He has to destroy everything they built. All right, get that. Go ahead, brother.
This is Amos chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
That's right, man. So the Lord has revealed it to us. All right? So the Lord is bringing about all his prophecies in these times, man. Turning back our captivity right before our face. We're seeing all these prophecies kick off like Armageddon. All the troops being gathered. Wars and rumors of wars. Syria rising up against, Turkey rising up against Syria, which is going to kick off and get Iran involved. Which is going to have Israel get involved. Russia get involved. When it's really all a deceptive plan of America. They got their hand in all of it.
Yeah, because and they planned this right when Obama became president, and he started cutting on the military funding and war funding. So when he started cutting back on that, all right, the companies that created all these military weapons weren't getting the money that they were supposed to be getting. So what do? They plan to bring forth another war. All right, so they can get paid, and they fund both sides of the war, and they make money off both sides of the war.
Yep. They learn from their mother, Europe, England. They learn from the European Union, their father, the devil. Now that's the same thing that Illuminati does. They fund both sides of the war.
Come on.
All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is Revelations chapter 11, and I'm going to start at verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Right. The second woe is past. The World War II was never really ended in 1945 with the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It never really ended. And now, behold, right? Behold, the third woe coming quickly, right? And that's how it's going to sound, but it's going to be louder.
It's going to be more of them.
Go ahead, brother.
This Revelation 17 and 17. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua shall be fulfilled.
Right. You want to speak on it?
You got it.
So they gave all their power unto the kingdom of the beast, which is who? NATO. And NATO helped what? Establish America. The whore riding upon the beast. So it said what? Until the words of Yahweh be fulfilled. Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Everything about being fulfilled, man. You know, it's about the words of Yahweh that was spoken from the beginning being fulfilled. And that's it. That's all. Once you hit that deadline, that's it. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. All right? You gotta know that, man. Israelites. Where we at?
Said to be fulfilled, right?
Yep.
This is
I'm gonna keep going with that Ezekiel 38 too.
This is Isaiah chapter 55. I'm gonna start at verse 11.
Oh,
so shall my words be that go forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
That's right. So his words spoken from the beginning, man. He said what? Wisdom is as the wind. It's more moving than any motion. It passes through all things, even time. All right? The Father's true name is Yahweh, his son named Yahushua. So he spoke these things from the beginning, and now they're coming to pass. World War III. How you gonna run from that? You can run from these words, but not from that.
Khan.
All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 28.
Right, you got no choice but to repent. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans.
Therefore,
You gotta turn back to the Father, man, Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We gotta be men. Go ahead.
Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore, but the words which I have spoken shall be done, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
Oh, why? Because what he say, he's shortening the days?
I got it.
Yeah, man. So he said what? When you see these things start to come to pass, then look up. Why? Because the Lord gonna start giving out his commands to the angels. Oh, my bad. The last part, can you read the last part one more time? Oh no, he said prolong it any longer.
Yeah.
All right, so he gonna speed these prophecies up, man. He's not gonna prolong your fall, Esau. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 24. I'm gonna start at verse 22. It says, except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right. Now, you have some people saying like the day, like the sun and the moon, you know, that process is shortened. Yeah. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the judgment. You know, the prolonging of our time here in America.
Long suffering.
The long suffering of hell. He's talking about that. He's going to shorten that time.
And of course, if it was talking about night and day being shortened, what does that have to do with stopping something from, because he said if you don't shorten it, it won't be none left to say.
Right, man.
So therefore he's talking about, because if he keeps letting Esau run amok the way he's been doing, everybody's going to be wiped off. So the Most High is going to put a stopping point on it, right? And then he won't be able to do it, like he's going to lift up that standard against him, and that's going to be it.
Now, let me show you the days that he's talking about he's going to shorten. He's talking about your days, Esau.
Your days is numbered.
Yeah, your days is numbered. He gonna shorten hell upon earth.
Hey, what did they say? The buck stops here?
The buck stops here.
Because they've been using the dollar to bring that hell on everybody.
Yep.
The buck stops here.
They're gonna come to a grinding halt. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Let me get straight to the point.
Yeah, straight to it.
This is
parting asunder of time.
All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that follow?
So what's going to be the end of all this wickedness on the earth? What's going to be the end of Esau's age? What's going to be the end of these evil days? And the beginning of it that follows. What's supposed to follow this? Righteousness, joy, heaven. You know? So the beginning of our rulership is about to follow. And Esau is about to fall, be in slavery for 1,000 years.
Verse 8, and he said unto me from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau was born of him.
Right, Jacob are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Esau is the Caucasian race today.
And Jacob hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right, okay, go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
So that means the Roman and Greek Empire, that represents the end of the wickedness upon this earth. So once that's destroyed, so that's when the Lord is going to bring righteousness upon the earth. You see that? Because the Lord said what? If this was his kingdom, his people would fight. All right? So this is not his kingdom right now. Right now, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And our people are being led as sheep to the slaughter. All right, so they're not his people. Somebody get Revelations 22 and 2. Let's change gears a little bit.
This is Revelation,
Got something?
chapter 22, verse 2. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb.
Right. So what is that? That's the wisdom. That's the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that's going out to the world, to the children of Israel. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2.
Right. The Father's true name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahushua, a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. Go ahead.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit.
Right, because you have the tree of life. What does it say? Wisdom is as the tree of life. Anybody know what it says? It says wisdom is the tree of life. So it's talking about wisdom, and wisdom is only given to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But is it talking about all of us as a nation? No. The Lord don't want all of us right now. All right, this is who the so-called white man called us, but this is our names biblically. But the Lord said 144,000 men, and 1/3 of the men, women, and children, they're going to repent and turn back to the Father before He destroys America, which is called Babylon in the Bible. Hey, Pooch. What's up, Pooch? All right, and you can take a picture of anything you need. Yeah, no problem at all. You got it? Oh, okay.
Proverbs 3 and 17.
Right.
Her ways are the ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace.
Talking about wisdom. All right, instruction, wisdom, divine instruction from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Heavenly instruction. Go ahead.
She is a tree of life. She is a tree of life to them that lay upon her.
So what's the tree of life? Wisdom. And wisdom has been blocked from our people. Our people have been what? Hosea 4 and 6? Oh, so that's the tree of life. Wisdom. Go ahead.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Right, and our people have been blocked from that, just like Adam in the beginning. All right? And the only ones that have access to it right now are you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelites that's scattered amongst these other heathens that look like these heathens, but we're actually Israelites. Go ahead.
This is Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Yep.
It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So who's the Lord's people? He has a set of people upon this earth. And those people are the children of Israel. The ones He chose out of all nations, man. What's that? Yeah, I know you got something. Either that or Deuteronomy, whichever one. Come to you first. One second. Huh? Yep. My man.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Nice and strong.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto Himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Lord said we're a special people. That's right. That's why everybody say we're the salt of the earth. We got the most talent. We're the most beautiful, but now we became the most wicked. The most we've taken on all the abominations of these nations: homosexuality, idolatry. You know? Go ahead. Yeah, I got something else on my mind. Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am the Lord thy God, and none else.
That's right.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
That's right. So He said our people, His people shall never be ashamed. Why? Because even though the Lord did away with us, Romans 11, even though the Lord did away with us, He still loves us. Malachi 1 and 3? Malachi 1 and 3? Somebody? You got a precept?
Just to back up.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right, so the Lord said, we're the ones that He had known of all the families of the earth, so therefore He punished us for our iniquities, the ones He gave the law to. All right, according to Romans chapter 9. So we're the ones that's going to get that judgment for that, breaking of the law.
Malachi 1 and 3.
Malachi 1 and 3, yep.
This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. It says, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Right, so that's the Caucasian race. That's their heritage. Whether they know it or not, that they're the Edomites, they have a heritage coming. All right? And the Lord told us our heritage is what? The kingdom. And we can inherit the heathen as our inheritance. If we just ask Yahweh Shai. Go ahead, brother.
It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
Right, keep going.
Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts.
Oh, go back to that hated Esau.
Okay. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. It says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4.
Oh, he said, I loved you and hated Esau, right?
That's Romans.
No, verse 2.
Oh, Salaki.
Verse 2 of Malachi chapter 1. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Right, so the Lord loves the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Even though we went into slavery, even though we've been in the ghettos, you know, even though our people like purely don't know who the hell they are, lost as hell, lost sheep, but the Lord said he loves us, man. Go ahead, brother.
It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Right, because our people got it misconstrued, the definition of love. They think love is an emotion, energy in motion. They think it's something you're supposed to feel or a connection to a person. No, love is order. And the Lord has put in the house of Israel in order, man. He's correcting us, chastising us. You got that, brother?
This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
See that?
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth.
Woo! So that means he has received us and he rejected Esau. Yep, there you go, cousin. Esau. There you go, that's Esau. All right, that's it. Just real quick. All right. So he said what? He has rejected Esau's offering, the offering of Cain, and he accepting Abel's offering, the offering of Jacob, which is a righteous offering, and even our spiritual offering today, right? Because the Caucasian race, their biblical name is Esau. That's what you're gonna find out by definition. You see that? I ain't call you them things that's in the kitchen cabinet. I ain't call you that. I called you an Edomite.
You can call you them things you put in soup.
Yeah, man. I called you what the Bible calls you. All right, where we at?
I got some on chest though.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Yeah,
This Sirach chapter 30, verse 1. It says, he that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy in him in the end.
Woo, man. So it's about the end.
Son.
You know, he correcting us in due process of time to have us be corrected in the end, man. To bring about an establishment upon the earth, to create us into being a nation. You know, from the beginning when he created man, creating us into perfection, man. At the end of this thing. What's that, Romans 11 or 9, I think it is? Neither haven't done any good or evil.
9.
Yeah. Neither done good or evil.
Cooking yourself.
That's right, man. We about to rule this world, man. You got an inheritance coming. Play all the soccer you want then. Start your own team. You have a golden soccer ball then. The head of your enemy. Go ahead, brother.
This is Romans chapter 9. I'm going to start at verse 11.
Right, because you know you Edomites, that's where you got soccer from, football, kicking the heads of Indians, Gadites around, kicking the breasts of our pregnant women, cutting them off and emptying them out and putting stuff and feathers in them, calling it football. Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done anything, any good or evil,
Right.
that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right, because you have babies in the womb, man. We all die, we in the womb. So any child that's ever born into this earth having done good or evil, you may have done evil in your past life. But before that child is born, it's up to the Most High what part they play out on this earth, good or evil. So it's all about the will of the Father. You see that ultimately in the end. So all these things happening on the earth is all to bring about what? The judgment of you damn Edomites and you heathens and 2/3 of our people, and to deliver the children of Israel. All right, somebody get that Revelation 22 again.
All right. Back in Revelations chapter 22.
All right, we're gonna change course just a little bit.
I'm gonna start at verse 2 again. In the midst of the street of it, on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yield her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Right, so now, what nations are it talking about? It's talking about these nations right here, these 12 tribes of Israel. All right, and the leaves represent what? The hopeful elect, and the wisdom, and that's for the healing of our people. All right, and the 12 represent the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, the 12 patriarchs, the 12 disciples, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, this whole earth is in sickness until we get into power. He said the whole creation warring together to the manifestation of the sons of God. The whole creation warring together or something like that. Yeah, man. Till this day, the whole creation warring together, groaning together, waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. All right. Well, anyway, it says that though, man. The scripture say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's get it.
All right.
This Romans 8, verse 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now.
Right. So even these heathen nations, they're moaning and groaning with Esau and rulership. Before they used to be boasting and lifting up Esau. Now they're turning and hating Esau. You see that? So what? In the kingdom, these other nations, they're going to get some form of living as well once we're in power. They're going to be able to live more healthy. All right? So they said what? Their leaves are for the healing of the nations. So let's get that. Somebody get Jeremiah 2:21. He said what? In due season. In their season, they bear. Yep. They said they bear fruit in their season.
This is
Yep.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21.
Isaiah 1:4.
It says, Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Right. So the children of Israel, that's what he's talking about. That noble vine, that plant, that tree, on both sides of the river that are connected to wisdom. You see that? And what do you get from a river? Is pure, nurtured water, moving water. And that's what wisdom represents. The moving waters. All right, movement. It's more moving than any motion. Now, if that's standing next to a tree, the tree that's closest to the water gets the most nutrients than any other tree in the field. And that's the children of Israel, mainly the hopeful elect. All right? So he said what? He had planted us a noble vine, but we have become a degenerate plant. So 2/3 of our people have become Gentiles. You see that? You got preacher. All right, so 2/3 of our people have become Gentiles, and now they have to be what? They have to be healed. All right, so that's what he's saying, man. In Revelation 22. Go ahead, brother. Let's see how we're gonna get to that point of being fully nourished and blossoming trees, man. In the end result, Revelation 22.
This is Proverbs chapter 12, verse 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduceth them.
That's right, you speak on the
Right, that's part of the way we became a degenerate plant, because we had an instruction to follow behind Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but our nation chose to follow the ways of these other nations. All right, so that's how we become strange. That's how 2/3 of our people are still in that Gentile state of mind.
Right, man. All right. Huh? Oh yeah. Yeah, Isaiah 1:4. Yeah, y'all gotta bring that power, y'all. That's what we out here.
I got that.
All right, come on.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. Laden with iniquity.
Yeah, you gotta
iniquity.
yell it. You gotta yell it.
Laden with iniquity.
Yep.
A seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backwards.
Yep. So that's how our people became what? That degenerate plant. They started being called niggas. Started being called Africans, jigaboos, spick. That's what they started calling us, and even calling themselves that now. All right, keep going, brother. All the way to 10. So that's how we became a degenerate plant, following after the ways of these nations.
All right, this is verse 5. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, the whole heart faint.
You see that? The whole head is sick. So our people were sick. So they had to be what? Cleansed. That's why he said that's why I said that the leaves were for the healing of the nation. All right. So the wisdom that's given to the hopeful elect, that's what? For the healing of our people. All right. So the word, the water seeps into the trees, right? And it comes out through the plants. Just like if you give, what is that? If you spray something on the plant, or if you put something else into the water of the plant, any type of nutrients, the tree is going to absorb that, and you're going to see it in the leaves. All right, and that's what the leaves represent, the wisdom. All right, the thoughts of the hopeful elect, the branches, and we represent the branches of the vine that came from the root, Yahushua. The vine is Yahushua that grew up a perfect vine, and we represent the branches. All right. So keep going, brother, all the way to 10, real quick.
All right. Verse 6. From the sole of thy foot even unto thy head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises.
Right, from the soul, from the least to the strongest of our people. Yeah. All right, ever since 586 BC. You know, really 605. When they started, what was the name? Jeroboam? No, not Jeroboam. Yeah, Jeroboam, right? No, what was his name, man? I always forget his name. Jehoiakim. I always mix it up with Jeroboam every time. But when Jehoiakim, when he sold Daniel and them to Nebuchadnezzar, all right? He cropped out the top of the twigs, man, sold our high priest and everybody. And our people have been falling ever since. In the time of Rome and Greece. Especially since 70 AD, we've been cut off as a nation. All right, went into the ways of this world. Keep going, brother.
All right. Starting again at verse 6. From the sole of thy foot even unto the head there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Right, so nothing was healed. All right? So our people became dirty. Our people became what? Had an uncurable wound. But now through Yahushua, we've been healed. He said what? By his stripes, we are healed. You see that? So now that healing has come to the children of Israel, to the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and the other ones, the Israelites scattered amongst these heathens. For all the rape, robbery, and murder that we went through under the slavery of these damn Europeans. All right? So this word is not for them. Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 1. It says, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Zechariah 13 and 1. All right, you already got it? No, you did. All right, it says in that, Zechariah 13 and 1. In that day shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanliness.
Right. So what? Read that again, Revelation 22. So that fountain is talking about what? Wisdom. It's been opened up for us, man. The tree of life. For what? For uncleanliness, to get clean. All right. Somebody grab keep going.
This is verse 7.
What's that? The washing of the word.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 7. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land strangers devour in your presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers.
Right, man. That's it, right? All the way to 10?
I'm on 8 right now.
Good.
All right. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city.
Yep.
Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
Right, man. 586 and then 70 AD, they could have destroyed us like completely, man. But it was up to the Most High to leave us remnants of our people, so we can be here today. In World War I, World War II, we could have been completely destroyed. But the Lord still left us a seed here, a few people that He could wake up. All right, righteous seed. Go ahead.
Verse 10, hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah.
Oh, that was already 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody had something?
I appreciate it.
Told me to Ephesians 5 and 26.
Yeah, we did that real quick.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify.
25.
Okay. All right. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. It says husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and give himself for it.
Right, so even though we were wicked and we were dirty, Yahushua gave his life for us, man, died for us, you know, and gave his life so we can be clean. All right, and be washed in his blood, washed in his word, washed through the Spirit. All right, keep going.
It says,
So he loves us like you love a woman, like you love your wife.
it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word.
All right, see? So the word is what washes us, is what cleans us, is what heals us. You see that?
My father, Prophet Muhammad, he was actually on Laura Street giving head.
All right, so the father's name is Yahweh, his son named Yahushua. Any other idol god we don't deal with. That's the devil. All right? So they talking some Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was a demon. All right, he right in the ground where he belonged. Go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah chapter 53, verse 10. It says, yet it pleased Yahweh to bruise him, he that put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand.
Right.
So basically, that was the whole purpose of Yahushua coming down here. And it pleased Yahweh to bruise him, right? Because we were battered and bruised, all right, because of sin. And so he was battered and bruised to be an atonement for our sins.
Right, man.
And for us to be clean, because without that, we wouldn't have no way to be clean.
Right.
We're all worthy of death, just like the elder said. When we went into captivity in Babylon, we could have been destroyed then.
Right. Yep, and he's not so far that he can't be touched with the feeling of our infirmities. So he came down here and walked in the flesh and showed us how to do it. And the Lord bruised him, man. You know, the Father wounded him just like we were wounded. No servant is greater than his master. All right? Anybody got anything? If not, I'm gonna bring something else up. All right, this 2 Timothy 4 and 2. All right, so we went in on the fountain. He said, a fountain shall be open to the children of Israel, not to you heathens, man. Y'all don't have no access to that wisdom. Y'all don't have no access to the will of the Father, man. You're not his son. You're not Yahushua's friend.
Segregated water fountains.
Yeah, segregated. Yeah, the same way y'all was segregating water fountains, Yahweh has segregated his. Y'all gotta drink from the tap of the devil. They gotta drink that sewer water. Yeah, yep. We got spiritually segregated fountains.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. It says, preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season.
Let's get that Revelation 22 again. He said, bear their fruit in their season.
This is back in verse 20, verse 2.
Yep.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yield her fruit every month. And the leaves of the trees were from the healing of the nations.
Let me read that last part real quick.
All right. It says, and the leaves of the tree were
to yield the fruit.
All right. I'm starting from the top again. Verse 2, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yield her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
Boom. Now, let's get that again. So let's see what that yielding this fruit every month is.
Again, this is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. It says, preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season.
Right, because why? As we're constantly teaching, over months passing by, there's prophecies happening. All right, and the Spirit is speaking. So as the months go by, it's like having a conversation with somebody. The conversation gonna change. So if we're the voice of the Lord, we have to be that consistent conversation, that consistent reaching out to the people. All right, and as it changes with the prophecies. You know? Go ahead. So now we have to yield our fruit in season and out of season, in the cold, in the winter, in the summer, in the fall, all year round. All right, and you yield your fruit when you're ready. Desire the sincere milk of the word, or wait on your prophet, wait on your ministry. All right, and then you do the work. Go ahead, brother.
It says, preach the word, be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine.
Right, so all of that is the voice of the Lord, the doctrine, the long suffering, the reprovement, and the rebuke. All right, and the prophesying. Go ahead, that was it all the way to 5.
Come on. Verse 3. Verse 3, for the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Right, can you grab that chip sign up? I got it, you got it? All right, so they're not enduring sound doctrine. What's sound doctrine? This right here is what? A proper vibration. To give an improper vibration is not fully sound. You see that? So people like Zabak, HOI, they're not giving sound doctrine. They're not enduring sound doctrine. Because they used to teach about the RFID chip. Now you see them all over the YouTube, bearing arms, the target range and shit, calling themselves the pull-up boys. Right? But they ain't pulling up on these police that's killing their people. You see that? So who they really pulling up on? You know, you got them teaching false doctrine, saying the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast. So they're not enduring sound doctrine. Go ahead.
All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 8. It says, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle?
Right, it's just like a sound, be the sound mind, sound heart, complete. Or just like a sound, you want to give off a full sound. All right, a full, complete sound of a trumpet. A trumpet, a vibration of the Lord's voice. Go ahead.
It says, so likewise you, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken?
Right, because the tongue is it can cause a fire, or it can cause life.
Life and death in the power of the tongue.
Go ahead. You know that's one of your favorite ones, right? Yeah, man, that's crazy. Cause you gotta speak nothing lukewarm. You gotta be cold or hot with the things you do and the things you speak. You know, yay or nay, no in between. Cause you could be leading somebody to their own death, man, or to their life.
This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
Right, man. So they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Who? Your listeners. All right. So whoever's listening to you, they're gonna eat the fruit of your words. So if you people like Zabak are feeding them death, feeding them the bitter waters out of the same faucet when you claim to be speaking clean water. He said, can two come out of the same faucet? You know what I said?
Yeah, I'm in it right now.
Go ahead.
All right, this is James chapter 3.
Right, you speaking death to the people, leading them astray, or leaving them to follow their own demise, their own
Vain philosophy.
yeah, you know, own understanding.
This is James chapter 3, verse 9. It says, therewith bless we Yahweh, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made from the similitude of Yahweh. Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and cursing. My brethren, these ought not to be so.
Right, and the cursings is what? Twisting the doctrine. You basically cursing our people, man. You know? Confusing them. All right, go ahead.
Doeth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?
Right, so people like Zabak, he supposed to represent the fountain. All right, he said, drink from your own cistern and let your fountains be dispersed in the streets. He said what? Read that again.
It says, doeth, James 3 and 11. Doeth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter?
Right, that's people like Zabak saying, hey man, you know, the chip ain't in here, but you know, don't get it. That's two things.
Yeah.
That's two different things, man. All right, what's up, man? If somebody got a debit card and they got the chip on it, they can still render that back to Caesar. They can go throw that away, cut it up, do whatever. But once you get it in your hand, how you gonna render that back to Caesar? You gotta render your ass to Caesar then. Right. You know? Oh, that was it on that, right?
That's a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine figs, so can no fountain both yield salt, water, and fresh.
Right, and that goes even deeper because it's about your spirit, man. That's why the scriptures say no man can serve God and mammon. Zabak, all y'all with these 501c3 charters, it's altering your doctrine, man. Because if y'all didn't have those 501c3s, you know, and y'all worshiping these women, say you don't. I dare you to come on YouTube and make a video and say I don't worship women. My woman should be under me. You ain't gonna do it because your woman over you. You see that? You're gonna get in trouble when you go home. You can't do it. You get on and talk shit about us all you want, but you ain't gonna do that because your woman run it. And so, can it bear what? Olive and figs? No. All right, it's gonna be what? Connected to the true vine, Yahushua. It's gonna be just that, man. Nothing mixed in with it. Building something else upon the pure foundation. Spewing out lies, you know. Where was that?
Untempered border.
There you go. That's right, man. Yep. Make sure y'all point the camera.
Come on.
Stay mobile. Revelation 11 and 3. Let's get this, y'all.
This is Revelation chapter 11, verse 3.
Yep.
And it says, and I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Right, so you got, Revelation 22, one more time out. All right, now he said what? He says two witnesses, right?
Come
All the way to 4?
on. All right, I'm gonna start back from the top.
Yep.
This is Revelation 11 and 3. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
Right, man. That was 2,000 years ago. Our people were prophesying for that time, man. All right, go ahead.
Come on. Verse 4. These are the two olive
I think
trees.
like 4 or 5 years or something like that. I did a lesson on it, but go ahead.
These are the two olive trees and the two candlesticks standing before the Most High, God of the earth.
All right, so look, let's see what that is. That matches up perfectly with the scripture.
This is Revelations chapter 22, verse 2. It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit.
Right, so it's talking about wisdom bears 12 manner of fruits. What's that? Revelation 12. So it bears us. So that means what? Yep. It didn't say it was on top of us. It said we was on it. It bare us, right? Go ahead. Come on.
This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
There you go, man. So what is that? That's talking about what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and the promise of glory, man. All right, the promise that was given to the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's talking about what? Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So, all right, so we're going to be what? He said clothed with the sun. So what does the sun represent? Wisdom. And what is that being clothed with? That's talking about our garment. All right? So having a covering of wisdom, man, of the Lord's wisdom, instead of being covered by the world. Right?
This is Sirach chapter 21, verse 1. It says, wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of her people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places, and my throne is a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuits of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep. In the ways of the sea and all the earth and every people and nation I got a possession. Here's the point. With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide? So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thy inheritance in Israel. So we're the only ones that have access to that true wisdom that came out of the mouth of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, he gave all men a breath, right? But he gave Adam the breath of life, all right? Which continued in Yahweh Shai, being the living word. All right, so the first Adam was made a living soul. The second Adam was a quickening spirit. So now through Yahweh Shai, we have access to the tree of life. So when you repent and turn back and start studying, that's when he said he'll come down and sup with you, man.
Right, man.
And that's only for the children of Israel. And right now, that's only for the elect of Israel.
Go ahead, you speak on that.
In Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 12, just to back up the brother Kanak. Go and proclaim these words toward the north and say, return, thou backsliding Israel, saith the Lord, and I will not cause my anger to fall upon you.
So like we turn back. When Solomon got through building the temple, it said no matter where we're scattered through, if we're in trouble, we turn and face the east. All right, you have to do that spiritually too. Turn back. All right, Israel has to be created in our mind before we can be set forth back in that land. So we cannot go back to the land until we're in the righteous state of mind. Because this whole thing cycle will go all over again, where we have to be exiled out of the land so we can be purified. Because he's not going to bring any, once we get back over there in that land, he's not going to have heathens dwelling among us like that anymore, like he did with the Philistines.
And it continues on and says, for I am merciful, saith the Lord, and I will not keep anger forever.
All right, so if you turn your back on his word, you turn your back on his mercy. And that's just it. So in order to obtain mercy, you have to have access to the tree of life. Because that's going to put that mark on you, that Torah, that exempt from judgment.
That's right, man. Where we at? We got, I had a couple priests on Bama. Yeah, you see him? All right, where we at? We was
Back in Revelation chapter 22, verse 2.
yeah, we had the 2 olive trees. Let's finish this real quick.
This is back in Revelation chapter 22, verse 2.
Right.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielding her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
There you go, man. The 12 trees and bear 12 manner of fruit, and also, which would be the 12 tribes of Israel, right? In the field would be the world, right? And what did it say? It said they bear the fruit, and that fruit is wisdom, which is the tree of life, and the fountain, which is the wisdom, more moving than any motion, and that's what's given through these trees as oil and pouring out that oil. So let's get that real quick. Zechariah 4:1.
This is Zechariah chapter 4, verse 1. It says, and the angel that talked with me came again and waked me. Is that wake? Okay. And waked me as a man that waketh out of his sleep. And said unto me, what seest thou? I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes and to the 7 lamps which were upon the top thereof.
Right, you take one candle, and you can light the rest of the candles in the house, just like a menorah. All right, that's what Yahweh represents. You see that? And the 7 angels, and the 7 churches of Asia Minor, which we're back here today, and we're called what? The 144,000 and the 1/3. Scattered around the 4 corners of the earth. All right, go ahead.
It says, verse 3, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof.
There you go. He said on either side of the fountain, of the river. He said 2 manner of trees, 2 olive trees. What do olives represent? Oil. What does the oil represent? Anointed trees. All right, you see that? Let's skip down to, let's go to Revelation 1 and 3, real quick. 13, 1 and 13. All the way to 20, somebody?
Got it?
Yep.
Am I going to have to go back to this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see this.
Yeah, probably.
So this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
Right, that's why you're supposed to have a garment on, Zechariah. Or y'all, they're teaching with t-shirts. You know, he said, gird about the paps with a golden girdle and a garment down to the foot, at least down to the knees. All right, go ahead.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow.
So his head and the top of his head were white and woolly, as white as snow, man, pure. Go ahead.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace, and his voice as in the sound of many waters.
There you go. And his voice was at the sound of many waters. This is who John saw on the Isle of Patmos, when they had him grinding the mill. You know? Being one of the last prophets alive on the Isle of Patmos when they banished him there. The Lord Yahweh came to visit him there, man. It wasn't just a vision. He was there. He saw him. It said he turned around and he was right there in front of him. All right? But the angel was sent first, and then Yahweh was there. And he turned around and see what that voice was behind him, whether a vision or not. And it was a loud voice and a man standing there. And let's see who this was. His name is Yahweh. And his voice was as a trumpet gives off vibration of vibrato. All right, which is like a vibration or echo. That's why it said his voice was as the many waters, like a wave, which we call a sound wave. Go ahead.
Revelation 1 and 16. And he had in his right hand 7 stars.
Right, so he controls through the spirit. He controls the 7 stars, right? The 7 churches of Asia Minor, the 7 angels that were over those churches. All right, go ahead.
And out of his mouth went a sharp 2-edged sword.
Right, that sharp 2-edged sword that comes out of his mouth is this word, because he is the living word. Yahweh Shai, that's his true name, the living word. And he speaks the words of his Father, which is wisdom. It's a 2-edged sword that cuts both ways. It can either heal you or it can tear you down.
And his countenance was as the sun. And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
Right, because the scriptures say if wisdom causes thy face to shine, and he that leadeth many to righteousness, his face will shine as the firmament. And Yahweh Shai is leading many to righteousness. All right, and he's pure wisdom. So his face is glowing. All right, go ahead.
Verse 17. And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead.
Right, people like Zechariah. When you see Yahweh Shai, you're going to fall dead. You ain't going to be saying, I don't want to worship him. That ain't going to come out your mouth.
God.
You ain't going to talk like that at all. You're going to fall dead. You ain't going to have a chance to even discuss it. So why we got to hear that now from you? keep them thoughts to yourself. I don't want to worship. We only supposed to worship the Father. Well, you can't worship the Father without serving His Son, Yahushua. So to even have that discussion is nonsense, man. Dude calling himself the high priest. Madness, man. Yeah, man. He said, kiss the Son. Go ahead, brother.
This is Psalms chapter 2, verse 12.
Right.
It says, kiss the Son, at least he be angry, and ye perish from the way.
Right.
Blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
Right. A lot of people trust in themselves. They trust in America. They don't trust in the scriptures, even to read it, according to Revelations 1 and 3. To understand that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and some of the confusion of faith, or what you call the speckled bird, scattered amongst these nations, are the Israelites of the Bible. God's chosen people. Loud ass child, man. Look, girl, already loud. Practicing when she get over. Where was that? Somebody had something? Yeah, he did not greet thee as a man. Anybody know what that's at? I would not greet thee as a man. Well, by the split, boom!
Could have sued the part. Y'all got sticks laying out here?
See that Esau? That's a reflection of your future. I just fell. Yeah, let's not greet thee as a man. That's 47.
I got it.
You got it?
God. This is Isaiah chapter 47, verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will not take, it says, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Woo! So he coming back even more powerful than when he was dealing with John. He coming in spiritual form, man. So you ain't gonna be saying I ain't gonna worship him or none of that. He said he should not greet you as a man. He coming in the glory of his Father, in the glory of the holy angels. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Doc.
This is Psalms 68 and 17.
Right.
The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels.
Right.
Yahweh Shai is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
That's right, man.
So if somebody show up like that, you ain't gonna have nothing to say. And it's the scriptures. If you read the scriptures, you'll know that's how he gonna show up.
Right.
All right. So you cannot get to Yahweh without going through Yahweh Shai. It says that in Hebrews. Right. He's the mediator. So how can you worship the Father without honoring the Son when he did all this for his Son to get glory?
Right. And then it's not about sacrifice no more. You can't say that. Yeah, man, it's about the sacrifice. See, that's worship. No, we offer up spiritual sacrifice. We don't even deal with the sacrifice no more. You see that? So it's about honor now. It's about testimony. It's testimony of Yahushua.
And if he say that, that just show his pride, man.
That's right.
All right, because a lot of them individuals are prideful anyway, man. You know, how dare you to say something prideful like that, man?
Right.
After all the things Yahushua went through, all right, being spit upon, being beaten, forced to try to be taking vinegar and piss.
Yep.
And you want to say some dumb shit like that?
Yep. And put it out there to cause confusion.
You
know? Romans 14:11.
Romans 14:11. Got it. This is Romans.
Oh, Philippians 2:11. Salaki, y'all. That was a good one too, but still. Yep, you can get it too.
14:11.
Yep, 2:11.
I got it. I'm gonna still bring it up.
Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 14, verse 11. For it is written, as I live, saith Yahweh, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai.
Right. What? Gonna confess what? Let's see what they're gonna confess. Go ahead, Zechariah. Go ahead.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and that every tongue should confess that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is Lord.
There you go.
To the glory of the Father.
Right, man. So it says, where is it at, man? John 5:22.
John 5 and 22.
Yep.
John chapter 5, verse 22. For the Father judgeth no man.
What?
For the Father judgeth no man.
Oh, go ahead.
But he that committeth all judgment unto the Son.
So he committed all judgment to his son, Yahushua, man. Go ahead.
That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father.
There you go.
He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father which hath sent him.
There you go, man. So there ain't no way around that, man. All right? The Father set it up to where Yahushua would get that worship. And by him getting that worship, Yahweh gets the worship directly. If a man paints something beautiful on the wall, and you walk up and you admire the art, you don't take anything from the artist. That's giving more praise to the artist that did the painting. By you admiring his work. By us admiring Yahushua, that gives honor to Yahweh.
I got another precept.
By people honoring us, that gives honor to Yahushua.
It's another precept.
By you disrespecting Yahushua, you're disrespecting the Creator.
This is Matthew chapter 28. I'm going to start at verse 18. And Yahushua came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. So with that being said, you know, that just straight to the point. All power is given unto him. So you can't even step to the Father while going through Yahushua. And for you to push that, you're a fool, man. All right, and you misleading the flock. All right, you scattering them, thinking that they can believe to go to the Father himself when the Father cut our nation off because he was not dealing with them.
Right. Right, man.
That would be making him a liar, man.
That would make him a liar. Yeah. Go ahead. You can speak
This
on
is, this is Isaiah chapter 48, verse 10. This is, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
Yep.
It says, I have refined, I have made you perfect in this truth, but not with silver, not with riches. I have chosen you to be in the furnace of affliction. I mean, we got to go through something to get this prize. So guess what? We got to go through Yahushua to get to the Father.
Right.
What's that other scripture? I'm the way, the truth, and the light.
Oh.
Con.
Yep.
No one
gets to the Father except through me.
Con, I want to get it. I don't even want to try to roughly paraphrase.
It's a lot of upcuts.
You know what that?
Con, I'm trying to find it.
So, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, all right, you know, those that speaking this nonsense, all right, the Lord is not a respectful person, man. All right, we are defenders of the gospel. If you go off, we're going to correct you. You got it? You bring it out.
All right, this is John chapter 14, verse 6. Yahushua saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto me, no man cometh unto the Father, but by me. So just like the brother said, man, you only can get to the Father through the Lord Yahushua, man. So therefore, it's the order of command, man.
Right. Verse 7 says, it's John 14 and 7. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also, and from henceforth you know him and have seen him. So you cannot even know the Father without knowing Yahushua, man. Because he is the invisible image of the Father.
Just like, and just like in Proverbs 30 and 4, man, say what is his name and what is his son's name, and thou canst tell, man. So therefore, you got to know one in order to know the other, man. So therefore, you got to know the Son in order to know the Father, man. Yep. All right.
Yep. I know the trick. He was trying to say the way we worship the Father is through sacrifice, and the way we worship Yahushua is through prostration, meaning bending down, bowing to him. No, because Yahweh doesn't even deal with our sacrifice no more. So you can go kill a lamb, all you want. You see that? You can't even claim to be a high priest, because the Levites aren't the high priest no more. All the children of Israel the men are priests, as long as they're in this truth. You see that? Nation of kings and priests. So the only way you can deal with the Father or have any type of sacrifice is the sacrifice of Yahushua. To present thy body as a living sacrifice. To follow in the footsteps of Yahushua. What?
This is 1 John 2 and 20. Grab it real quick.
Yep. Big as can, though, bro.
This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 23.
Yep.
I'm gonna start at verse 22. Verse 22, it says, who is a liar, but he that denieth Yahushua is the Hamashiach. He is an antichrist that denieth the Father and the Son.
So he might not be denying the Father and the Son through paying homage to him. But you still have brothers out here. What's up, man? Where the scriptures say they're gonna what? Say, Lord, Lord, haven't I prophesied in your name? And the Lord gonna say, I never knew you, man. Why? Because you try to get to the Father a different way. By denouncing Yahushua, man, in any kind of way. You're supposed to honor him in all your ways. Go ahead, brother.
This is verse 23, the point. It says, whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father. But he that acknowledges the Son hath the Father also. So, like, Zechariah, he right here denying Yahushua, he denying the Son. So guess what? You don't have the Father because you're denying the Son. You can't get to the Father unless you go to the Son. It says, but he that acknowledges the Son hath the Father also. So you gotta acknowledge Yahushua. You cannot get around him. He's like the executive president. You can't get around him.
Right.
You got to go through him.
Right, and another cut is Melchizedek. What happened with Abraham? Huh?
To the order of Melchizedek.
Yeah.
Right here. Hebrews.
Oh yeah, you can get that one. I'll back it up with Psalms.
Okay.
Okay, all right. The Psalms 110 and
Hebrews 7. Go ahead.
all right. This is Psalms 110 and 4. The Lord has spoken, has sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. So that's talking about the whole nation of Israel, not just the Levites. The order of the priesthood was changed before the priesthood was set up. All right.
Go ahead.
This is Hebrews chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 1.
Right.
For this Melchizedek, the king of Salem, the priest of the Most High, Yahweh, who met Abraham, returning from the slayer of the kings, and blessed him, to whom also Abraham gave 10 parts of all, first being by interpretation kings of righteousness, and after that also the king of Salem, which is the king of peace.
Right, man. So even Abraham paid respects and paid homage to him and gave tithes to him, to Melchizedek. You see that? Basically sacrificed to him, man. All right?
I got a precept dealing with Zechariah's sacrifice.
Yeah, king of peace, which would be what? King of Jerusalem. All right, the king of righteousness. Just like today, he's the king of peace. He's the king that brought peace between us and Yahweh. Yep, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is for your sacrifice, Zechariah. This is
You gotta bring it up, though. Even with it.
all right. This is Isaiah 66 and 3. He that killeth an ox is as he sleweth a man. He that sacrificed a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. He that offereth an oblation is as if he offereth some swine's blood.
Right, real quick. So with any of this being said, why even have the conversation of I'm not gonna worship Yahweh like you worship Yahweh? Why even talk like that? Because the Father's not dealing with us in that way anyway. He's not even accepting any kind of sacrifice besides the sacrifice of testimony. The testimony of his son Yahushua. Go ahead.
All right, it says, he that burneth incense as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delighteth in their abomination. I will also choose their delusion and will bring their faces upon them, because when I called, none did answer. So basically, so you're in that you know that you're Israel, but you're trying to offer sacrifice. You're not understanding the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, so you're not walking in the righteous manner. All right, he's not even, like Ellis said, he's not even dealing with the sacrifices anymore. So if you're doing any type of sacrifice, it's just if you're offering up swine's blood.
Right, and the incense in our prayers won't make it to the Father without the high priest being in place.
Time.
So Yahweh Shai is our high priest in the heavens.
Time.
You have to sacrifice it towards him. And then he administers it. You get what I'm saying? There's a process to everything. Fatality. Zechariah, let's get back to the point, man. Zechariah 4, no. Revelations 1 and 3, 13, all the way to 20. Yo, we never get to 20. Nah, just the point where you was at.
All right. This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 17.
Yep.
It says, and when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead.
That's the point. All right, go ahead.
And he laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, fear not, I am the first and the last.
That's right. That's talking about Yahweh Shai. He's the first and the last, man.
But you don't want to worship.
But you even talking like that. That's my thing. Who do you think he is even talking like that? I'd be scared to even talk like that, man.
Did he say he wasn't a rap song?
What he said?
The slave lyric?
All I know is surfing them tubular.
It's tubular.
Surfing called me tubular. Lord gonna surf on you. He gonna stand right on your back. Stand on your head.
Catch a tubular missile.
Tubular missile. Fuck that. I ain't falling for that bullshit. Shiny suit, man. You can hate me. I don't give a damn. Go ahead, man. Everybody else do. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation 1 and 18. It says, I am he that liveth and was dead.
Right, so Yahweh Shai conquered death. He was the first one to conquer death. And he was proving that to John, all right, around 77 AD on the Isle of Patmos. Go ahead, brother.
And behold, I am alive forevermore.
Woo,
a month.
Forevermore. He's alive right now. He was telling John back then that he's gonna be alive forevermore. So that means today he's still out there. He's the one operating everything. All right, go ahead, brother.
And have the keys of hell and of death.
Right, to be able to free us. What do you say? What should be bound? What you shall bind in my name upon earth shall be bound in heaven. You know, so he has the keys. He's the one that controls that. In two forms, our suffering and death, and also spiritually. All right, to put us into sorrow. He said, "Fear not, him that can kill the body." Look at that. And then let's say conquer death. In Corinthians.
Got it.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew's chapter 10. I'm going to start at verse...
What is that? Death over where thy sting? In Corinthians.
Verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul.
Right, because the soul can be killed and put to death, just like physical death. All right? That's why we're in the land of zombies. This is a fucking dead man's land. Go ahead.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right, and what did he say? The Father said he committed all that to Yahushua. So he's the one that has those keys. He can turn, turn your lights out or turn your lights on. Come and put your remove your candlestick. He can forgive your sins or not. So what was sacrifice for? Sacrifice was what? For forgiveness of sins. So who has that authority been given to? Yahushua. Zechariah. Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 55. It says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
54.
54?
Yep.
God. This is verse 54. It says, so when the corruptible shall have put on incorruption.
Right. So when the hopeful elect are finally taken up into the chariots and we get those new bodies, then he will have completed the Lord's will. He will have completed Yahweh's will, his plan spoken from the beginning. He will have established what you call the temple, all right, that he didn't finish, or the temple that was built in 955 AD, destroyed in 586 and 70 AD. Now it's being rebuilt today, the tabernacle of King David. And he is saying it's complete, but he puts us in them new bodies. All right? The new righteous bodies having the laws in the inward part. Go ahead, brother.
1 Corinthians 15 and 54.
Yeah.
It says, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality.
Right, having new bodies that live forever, living forevermore, like Yahushua said. Go ahead.
Then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
That's why he said, then shall it be brought to pass. All right, then. Once we get put in them new bodies, then we're going to be what? We have conquered death, the same way Yahushua conquered death. We'll live forevermore, man. And that's what I want. That's what you should want. But it takes work. It takes a fight to get there, man. All right? The responsibility. That was it. One more? Go ahead.
Verse 55, it says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
Right, man, because the grave and the victory, how can death and victory have, death and the grave have victory? When the body dies, or a person falls to sleep spiritually, and then they die. When the body perishes, and that body is no more, and that spirit goes up to the Father and gets sent back down into a new body, death has won its course. That's the process of death. You see that? So the Lord said, death, where is thy sting? Meaning, if we die in this truth, you're going to get risen up. You know? So you have no fear of death. So where is the sting of death? When Yahushua shows up and he gives his elect new bodies. And they won't die ever again. So where is the sting of death? Keep one more.
One more. Verse 56. It says, the sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Right, so you have spiritual death as well. So the Lord is going to destroy sin by putting the laws in our inward part. You see that? Instead of the laws being against us. Meaning what? They were our schoolmaster, but these heathens could use the laws against us by having us trespass and perish. All right? So where was we at, man? Let's get back to the point.
And we'll be back in Revelation.
Yep. Zechariah, yeah. Revelation 13, yeah. We're back at that. 1 and
19.
18, 19.
This is Revelation chapter 1, verse 19. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter.
Right, and that's what this is about. That's what all the prophets prophesied about in their time. And now we're back in these times prophesying about the past, the present, and the future. That's what this is about. All right, the things that have been before, the things that are present, and the things to come. Go ahead.
Verse 20. The mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches.
Right, the angels, right?
Go on.
The 7 angels over the 7 churches. And the word church just means what? To be called out. The 7 gatherings of Israelites, of the believers. All right, go ahead.
And the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches.
That's right. Keep going.
That was it.
That was it. All right, and the 7 candlesticks represent the 7 churches, man. So you have the 7 angels in the hand of Yahushua and the 7 churches, which means what? The ones, he said, those that are given to me, right? He said, those that thou hast given to me. The world.
17, John 17.
Yep. So the called out are the ones that are being gathered out. And that's only a few.
John 17 and 9. Verse 8. It says, for I have given unto them the words which thou hast gavest me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I come out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. For I pray for them, I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine.
Right, man. So that's talking about who? The church. The same church that Yahushua had love for like a wife. spoken of by Solomon when he was Solomon, how he loved the church. You know, in Song of Solomon chapter 5. All right, that's the same gathering that he loves today. The 7 churches, that's who's in his hand. So we represent that, man. All right, of which the oil pours down and seeps through what? The candles. And it ignites that fire. All right, so let's get Zechariah 4 and 2. Because just because you have a candle and you have the oil, it still has to be lit. It has to be ignited.
It's mine.
And then it has to be put on a candlestick to light the room. Just like a fountain, when it springs up with water, it has to be put in a certain area or you're just wasting the water. It's to what? To fertilize the land, to water the grass, so that our people can spring up, the elect can spring up. That's what we're here for, to beautify our people.
This is the book of Zechariah 4 and 2.
My guy, yeah.
And said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it.
Right, what does gold represent? He said, what? What's that? Sirach? What's it? Gold? Try your gold.
Oh, yeah.
Purify the gold. All right, 1 second, brother. We're gonna jump from there to the verse 4. Verse 10. So like it. Oh, go ahead.
The Sirach. Yep. The Sirach, chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Right. So what's that gold? That's the men of the Lord that's being purified. All right. The strongest of our nation, the ones that are being purified towards the end. All right. He said, many shall be made purified and tried and made white. And that's talking about the hopeful elect having on the garments. All right, go ahead, brother.
Zechariah.
Yeah.
This is the book of Zechariah 4 and 2. And said unto me, what seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof. Verse 10.
Yep. That's the 7 pipes. You see that? The 7 pipes represent the 7 churches. The seven candlesticks and the 7 angels. All right, go ahead. Verse 10. You got precepts? All right, verse 10.
All right, verse 10.
Right.
For who have despised the day of small things, for they shall rejoice.
Right. Go ahead.
And shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel.
Yep. Zerubbabel.
Or Zerubbabel.
Yep.
With those 7, they are the eyes of the Lord, which run to and fro.
Right. Today that represents the church. All right. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And Zerubbabel was one of the men that was set up to rebuild the church back then, the temple. And now we're rebuilding the temple spiritually today. All right, the tabernacle of King David, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you know, the Israelites of the Bible. And how can we be built? Through money? And how can we be built? Through hitting the gym? How can we be built? We're going to be built up by what? Through edification. The word edification means to build. Through the knowledge and wisdom and understanding of the Lord. Go ahead. He said, comfort one another with these words. Go ahead. All the way to 10? That was 10? 14, all the way to 14. So like,
right. Verse 11.
1 second.
Then answered I and said unto him, where are these 2 olive trees upon the right side of the candlestick, upon the left side thereof?
Right, so here we go with the olive trees again. Where it speaks about the olive trees, the 2 olive trees. All right, can we get that again? Revelation 22.
This is Revelations, chapter 22. I'm going to start at verse 2.
Right.
It says, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, there was the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit.
Right, we showed earlier how the tree of life is basically wisdom. Now you have the nation of Israel, which is 12 tribes. This was our name before we came into slavery. The so-called white man called us this, separating us. Now in 931 BC, we separated as a nation. The northern tribe from the southern tribe. And we've been scattered ever since. Now the Lord is bringing us back together. We represent those two trees on both sides of the river, which would be what? Dedicated to wisdom. We're the only ones that have access to get this wisdom, get the truth. Yeah, of course. Y'all can take a picture of the sign too. All right, so now we have access to that truth, all right, to that wisdom, to that fountain. Those are the two olive trees. All right, that was it? No, you ain't got to worry about that. Let me do all that. Not talking to him.
Oh, you Revelation?
No, where we was at? Zechariah?
4 and 2. It's 4 and 14.
Go to 14, bro.
13. All right.
Verse 12. And I answered again and said unto him, what be these two olive branches which through the two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, knowest thou not what these be? And I said, no, my Lord. Then he said, these are the two anointed ones that stand by the Lord of the whole earth.
There you go, man. So that's talking about who? The northern tribe and the southern kingdom of Israel. All right? So they represent the anointed ones. The only ones that can have access to this anointing. All right? That stand by the Lord of the whole earth, man. Talking about your house shot. All right? So now let's see what the branches are. Let's get Jeremiah 11 and 16, man. He said olive trees, right? Let's see what that is.
It's Jeremiah 11, verse 16.
Yeah, all the way to 17.
And it reads, the Lord called thy name a green olive tree.
What do you call them?
Called thy name a green olive tree.
So when he talk about the olive tree, he talking about the children of Israel. All right? That's talking about us. He said he called thy name a green olive tree, man. Meaning an anointed, blossoming, pure tree, man. But he said what? How have we become a degenerate plant unto him? You see that? Go ahead, brother. Our people still think they're American, African, Negro, black, everything but a child of God. To be a child of God, you will be a Yasha Allah, an Israelite, a son of Yahweh, son of the true power, man. Right before America gets destroyed. Everything, man, about to be obliterated with thermonuclear destruction. The Lord looking for soldiers. Revelation chapter 7 real quick. This is how we save our women. This is how we save our children. Anybody that's in your household will be protected through the man. Just like during the times of Noah, the flood. We heard about that growing up, the flood. When the flood came, everybody got destroyed except for Noah and his household. The word Noah just means comfort or rest. Now we have access to enter into this rest from this weary ass world, man. This world make us weary. You know, we last one's hired, first one's fired. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother. The cops, they got us out for the target. Get straight to the point, from the top.
This is Revelations chapter 7, verse 1. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the winds shall not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
I cut you off. Yep. So now you have the 4 angels, the 4 archangels that stand in front of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They're the ones that the Lord is using to hold back all the destruction from this earth. You see all the stuff going over in the Middle East, in China, and Hong Kong. Even in Hong Kong, they can't even go to the ATMs today. Their ATMs are shut down. So why? They had a recession, the Great Depression. Now in America, you can go home and type in recession. It's happening right now. What came before the Great Depression in the 1930s? A recession. A recession leads to a Great Depression, no money. Right? So what's going to be the money? You want to have that knowledge. You want to know what's going on. All right, go ahead.
Verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to the earth, to give and to hurt the earth and the sea.
Right. And how is he going to hurt the earth and the sea? With thermonuclear missiles. He destroyed the earth with the flood, with Noah. Now he said this time he's going to destroy it with fire. And by doing so, he's going to have the world build up to a World War III scenario. All right? Somebody get that, this third world coming quickly. I know we brought it out early, but just
so is that fire was starting up in the Amazon rainforest? verse right now? Is that where that's starting from? Because that fire
Okay,
was
then
going on
let's
for
see
a
this.
minute.
What do you say? Where am I if I already be kindled? What will I if it be kindled? Yeah, you on point. You on point. And in California, right? Oh, that's everything. Martial law, civil war, anything. The plague, diseases that came on Egypt, they back here in America. What else? You can go on and on. Keep going. You got it. What will I if it be kindled?
That good.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Luke chapter 12, verse 49.
Right, this is what you just said.
It says, I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
So he said he's coming to bring fire with him. So when he shows up, them missiles gonna be hitting this place. You see that? But he also said, what will I if it already be kindled? Meaning, what you think my will is if it's already kindled by the time I get there? Meaning, all hell breaking loose. What did he say in Matthew's?
Got it.
Oh, man.
This is Matthew chapter 10. I'm gonna start at verse 34.
Yep.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
What they tell you in church? The Lord coming to send peace, love, and all that shit. Hair grease. Go ahead.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
The Lord coming to bring destruction, brother. He's not coming to send no peace. We in the time of judgment. He's coming to destroy 2/3 of our people. That means family, cousins, aunts, everybody.
Another precept. This is Isaiah chapter 12. I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and furious anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
Right, so he's gonna destroy all the people that's sinning in this place. He's gonna destroy them. Now, can you keep the law perfectly? You don't even know what the law is really. It's 613 laws. So wouldn't that be wrong for the Lord to destroy you right now without you knowing? You're just now meeting us. You see that? So that's why the Lord made a way. Now, what if you showed up on the last day right before he arrived? I believe now, would you have time to keep a law? No. So how do you get saved? By believing in his son, Yahushua. You see that? Those that call on my name shall be saved. And you try your best to keep the law to the best of your ability. Grow your beard. You know, don't deal with another man's wife. You get what I'm saying? You can trust us around you. You get what I'm saying? Don't deal with these holidays for anybody. Family members, friends, your lady. Valentine's Day, you ain't getting nothing. Because Valentine's Day is a celebration of them slaughtering children. They were killing people, killing our people, taking their hearts out and putting them on stakes. Guys, Saint Valentine. So you get what I'm saying? Easter, the worship of the Easter bunny and the damn Ishtar. Christmas. Yeah, Christmas. Santa Claus, Satan Claus, you know, so on and so on. So all of that starts your path. You feel me? That's what starts your walk in this truth. That's how you know somebody's serious. And then the Lord will take you serious, and then you'll get this fire when you're like, damn, man, I tried to tell my bro and he don't want to listen. Right? Then you're going to want to go to, you're going to be like, F it, I'll just go out to the street and teach. You see that? That's when you get into the scriptures, all right? Go ahead. So we brought that out. He said, what will I if it already be kindled? So that's why you're seeing the Amazon fires and stuff like that. All right, go ahead.
Back in Revelation.
Yep.
This is Revelations, back in chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, until we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Right, because the nuclear blast that's going to hit this place is going to wipe everything out, man. It's going to turn everything in the Sodom and Gomorrah into dust. So he said, don't hurt the sea, the grass, or the trees, or anything until we get sealed. We got to get you to know the truth first. He said, how many he looking for? This is the number he want right here.
Verse 4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Right, so we looking for 144,000 men from the 12 tribes of Israel to wake up to the truth. Now the women are going to be in that number, but they're not going to come. They're not set up to do this. You feel me? We're warriors. We the ones set up to have testicles, to have a testimony. You see that? To be able to give the testimony of our King. All right. Now where are we at? Let's keep going. Hey man, you got the paperwork? It's on you now. You got the juice now. All right, don't do that though. All right, man, don't fall. stumble and get back up. That's what you gotta do. All right, where we at, man? We got all over the place, man.
We just finished up Zechariah 4, from 14 to 20. Did you go all the way to 20? No,
God
10
dang.
to 14.
Yeah, you did that one, right?
Got that memory.
Look at Jeremiah 11 and 16. You did that one too. Ezekiel 37 and 15. Can you bring that out one more time, though? Yeah, because that's when they walked up, I think.
11 and 16?
Yep. That'll get us back to our point. We're talking about the 12 trees on both sides of the river.
37 to 1.
Yep. And the river represents that moving water, the wisdom.
And it's back at Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 16. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Damn, man, ain't that something, man? And we've been broken. Now he's giving us wings, putting us back together. And when we were broken off, that's why this word is only for the children of Israel. Because if they've been broken off, as the brother read, they're the only one that can be grafted back in to that same olive tree. You see that? He said, I've called thee a green olive tree, man. All right? Meaning pure. It was another point, too. One more time, brother?
Yeah.
My bad, bro.
Verse 16 again.
Yeah, that last one. Yep. Right,
Jeremiah 11 and 16.
17.
Or 17.
Yep.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
Right. What does it say in the Song of Solomon? He said fair, right? And he also said, I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. And he said, with fairly and goodly fruit. And that's what the brothers read earlier, the 12 manner of trees bearing fruit. All right, yielding that fruit in their season. Waiting for your ministry. And when it's your time, you're gonna grow fruit and bear fruit, you know? So, let's get that Ezekiel 37, 15.
This is the book of Ezekiel 37 and 15.
Yeah.
The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write upon it for Judah, and for the children of Israel, his companions.
Right.
Then take another stick, and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
Right, because a stick represents a plank, just a wooden board, man. All right, this would be like a stick to the Lord. You know, it's a piece of wood. And he said, write upon it, right? And he said, for Judah and the house of Israel. So that's the northern and the southern kingdom, bringing us back together since 931 AD, BC. All right, go ahead.
And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Yep, I can keep talking with it too. All right, so what? They became one in our hands, so we hold it right here like this. You see that? Or you hold it in front of you. All right, so they became one in our hand now. Why? Because this is who we're here to reach. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. The 12 tribes of Israel, bringing them back together. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Send unto them, This saith the Lord thy power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick.
Woo! He's gonna put us together and bring us together and make us one stick, man. You know, he's making us that Gatling gun, right?
And they shall be one in my hand.
That's right, man. So we became one in Yahweh Shai's hand, like he said, the 7 churches, right? He said the spirit of the 7 churches, the 7 angels, and the 7 candlesticks in his hand, in his right hand. All right? So that's bringing us together again. Prophecy, play it out. Go ahead, brother.
This is Sirach chapter 36, verse 11. Gather all the tribes of Jacob together and inherit thou them as from the beginning.
Go ahead, bro.
So that's the bringing together of one stick. There's no more 2 sticks anymore. There's no more 2 separate trees. We shall become one stick, man. All right, so that's that's you're witnessing it happen right now by the new temple being built. That's us coming together as one stick.
Right, man. And that's why he established two sides representing that river. You know, and the 12 the 12 tribes being separated into two. You know? And we really separated. Now he's gonna bring us back together. Or bring us back together to what? That same fountain. That same fountain, man. That you know. Even though we were divided, representing two trees, we were still brought back through what? That same fountain, that same water, that same river. That's what connects us. You know? Where was that? Somebody had some. Oh, did you already read the 23? All right, go ahead.
This is verse 20. And the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thy hand before thy eyes. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord thy power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
There you go.
Whither they be gone.
Right, and so that's what we're supposed to be teaching. We're supposed to say, thus saith the Lord, he's gonna redeem the children of Israel from wherever they're scattered. Not grafting in new people, no. So if you're teaching the opposite of that, what the brother just read, then you're in the spirit of Antichrist. You're in the spirit of the devil, vocab. Saying that everybody can make it. No, he said he's going to gather them from where they were scattered. There's a time to scatter stones, and there's a time to gather stones. And the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they're the most hard-headed, stone-headed people you can think of. You want to get that? Time to gather stones. Go ahead, let you bring it up. If you ain't got it, we're going to pray.
Yeah, no, I got that. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 5. We'll start at 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. All right, skip down to verse 5. It says, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones and a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing.
There you go, man. So now we're in the time of embracing. The Lord is calling us back to him, man. He refrained from embracing us. Now he said he shall not keep anger forever. And he's going to embrace us and bring us back. It was a time where he had to scatter us. Now we're in the time of gathering us, man. All right? So, do it 23?
20, verse 21.
All right, good.
Back at verse 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone.
Oh, so what did he say? I pray not for the world, but for them, for the children of Israel. And that thou should not take them out of the world, but be with them in the world. All right, so there's a division. The Lord don't deal with you heathens, man. You're not going to make it. He said Esau had no place of repentance. All right, go ahead, my brother.
And will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
Right, man.
And one king shall be king to them all.
That's talking about King David and Yahweh shall over them, man. Over him. All right, go ahead.
And there shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all. 23, right?
Yeah, that was 23?
Nah, this one 23.
Okay, so he said what? We became two kingdoms, man. And we're not going to be two kingdoms no more. We're going to be one. All right, how are we going to be one? It's still going to be the northern and southern kingdom, but we're going to be joined together through the vine, through that river, through that wisdom, that connection of the spirit, man. All right, being one in the same spirit. Go ahead, brother. The same way you join to your woman. Y'all still separate, different, but you become one flesh through agreement. All right?
Verse 23.
Through marriage.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Neither shall they defile themselves anymore with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any other transgressions.
Right, our people are nothing but idol worshipers now, man. That's all they are. They all into idols. Everybody got something they into, man. If they're not serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, they either serving their own will or they're serving idols. All right, or they're serving Esau. But whatever covering it is not a covering of Yahweh Shai. All right, so your sins are not blotted out. and you have no covering in the day of judgment. Go ahead, brother.
But I will save them out of all the dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power.
There you go. And that goes back to Revelation 22, where it said what? For the healing of the nations. For us to be clean, man. All right? Because he said the whole head was sick. Our people became sick, became Gentiles. But now, we have a way to be clean through that fountain. Somebody grab Romans 11 and 16. Damn, all the way 27.
This is Romans 11 and 16. It says, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
Right, so if the first fruit be holy, see the first fruit was who? Adam. All right, so we became wicked. We were wicked in the flesh. But now we became power over the flesh. By the true fruit, Yahushua, who bore our wisdom. Go ahead.
It says, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy.
Right, so Yahushua is our first fruit. All right, taken up into the heavens. You know, and now Yahweh Ratazah, we're following that same step. Go ahead.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
Right, yeah, there you go. If we represent the branches, then the root would be holy as well, Yahushua. All right?
And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree were grafted in amongst them, and with them partaketh the root of the fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee.
Right, so you can take that further, and it's talking about the Jews and the Gentiles. The Jews meaning what? Ones that called themselves the circumcision, called themselves keeping the law, but they were still going off. All right, still in wickedness. But then you have the Israelites that was scattered, and they were living a Gentile state of mind, a foreign state of mind. Both have access to the true vine, Yahushua, to be grafted back in, to be gathered through the same spirit. All right? You're going to gather all things in Yahushua. So we all have access to that same spirit, Yahushua. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Verse 9.
Oh, now let's take it further to say the northern and the southern kingdom, the two olive trees, both have access to that same vine.
Verse 19.
Yep.
Thou wilt say then, the branches were broke off that I might be grafted in.
Right, and that's what you would say today. You would say, yeah, man, these people became foreigners or Gentiles, so I could be in this truth. And that's what the Jews were saying back then. Yeah, you made them go astray and become Gentiles, so I could be clean like this. You said, from those that don't have shall be taken. So I'm becoming greater. Look at me, I'm increased in riches.
Trying to put out somebody else's candle to make yours shine brighter.
Right, man. And that's what a lot of you niggas fall into today.
Go
ahead, brother.
Verse 20. Well, because of unbelief, they were broken off, and thou standest by faith. Be not high-minded, but fear. For if Yahweh spare not the natural branches, take heed lest he also spare not thee.
Right, man. So he was, because even though you're in this truth, he said, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling and endure to the end. All right? Because if you look back just an inch, a little bit, you could be at jeopardy of your candle being put out. All right?
Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Yahweh on them which fell severity. But towards thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness.
If you continue in his truth, then it's goodness to you. Like people like Zechariah, Zabak, they haven't continued in the truth. Their doctrine changed. What's his name? Satan. He used to teach the name of Yahweh. His doctrine changed. They didn't believe in Cornelius. Now they're changing it up. See, they double-minded, man. They're double-minded in all their ways. You can't trust that. You got to trust consistency. Go ahead, brother.
All right. It says, if thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou shalt be cut off. Let me read that over. It says, Behold, therefore, the goodness of and severity of Yahweh on them fell severity. But towards thee, goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Otherwise, thou shalt be cut off. And they also, if they bid not still unbelief, be grafted in, for Yahweh is able to graft them in again. For thou wert cut out of the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted contrary to nature into a good olive tree. How much more shall these, when these which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree?
All right. So what is that? He said what? So as soon as a brother begins to believe, he's being called back into the sheepfold. You heathens try to believe, and you can't. You're gonna get rejected. You get the matumbo. Get the door slammed in your face. Get the boot. Get the Spartan boot. You know? This is Israel. You know? Kick you back into the pit where they'll be weeping and gnashing their teeth.
Verse 25, it says, For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceit, that blindness in part is happening to Israel until the fullness of Gentiles be come in.
What does that sound like? That sounds like Esau, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Wise in your own conceits. And 2/3 of our people fall into that. They become wise in their own conceits. You see that? Being led by their own understanding. Thinking that other nations can make it, like GOCC. But the Lord said only Israel can be grafted back in and brought back through their belief. Go ahead, brother.
To verse 26.
Yep.
And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So he said what? That's that golden bowl, that candle that's on top of the other candles. That lighteth and oils all the other candles, cleansing them. All right, and fills our cup up with oil. You see that?
Huh.
So Yahweh Shai is that cleaner, Mr. Clean, that got the spick and span. That can clean us with the washing of the word. All right?
Verse 27, For this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins.
Right, man, so that's the covenant. And he said what? He has the keys to hell and death. So when he gives us those new bodies, he said our reward is with him. So to get them new bodies is to be perfected in the law. You know? It's to have that new covenant. All right? So let's get 2 Ezra 2:14. Hey man, you mind if I get your shirt, brother? That's what I'm trying to tell the people, man. We're doomed, man. No, good. You know, America is doomed, man.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 2, verse 14.
You gotta read the signs, man. You gotta read the signs.
Right on time. It says, Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good, for I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Right, so once that thing happens, once all these prophecies happen, and the Lord establishes us with the new bodies, the new covenant, and He's gonna say what? Hey, you see that He exists now, right? And He has established the good. He's gonna establish us, man. All right, in this new beginning. As I was talking to the brothers earlier, the new Bariashah, which is the new beginning. You see that? The new Genesis. All right, entering into that 1,000-year period. After 6,000 years, we go into the 7,000th year of His rest. All right, He's gonna make all things new. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 15. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord.
Right, and who's our mother? It's talking about wisdom. All right, He's giving commands to wisdom to do His job and make our feet quicken us. You see that? And make us what? What's that? Habakkuk chapter 2? Right upon tables. 1 second up. He said, make their feet quick. Yep.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he shall say unto me.
There you go.
And what I shall say, what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
See that? So what was written was what? The words of wisdom. You see that? So we copied it down, what wisdom was speaking to us. All right? The instructions. And what? Made their feet quick, made us lively. Go ahead, brother. Brought us to life.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 16.
Right. We run this race like a, we run in this truth like a race towards the kingdom, towards the reward.
This is 2nd Ezra 2 and 16. And those that be dead will I rise up again from their places and bring them out of their graves.
Right, and what is that talking about, man? The same way you see, they say one of the best things you can learn in life is how to plant. Because when you look at the soil, where the dead things dwell, right? That's the same thing with this society. It's nothing but the land of the dead. So what happens in the soil? That's why the scriptures call the soil hell, right? Or the grave. Sheol, meaning the pit, or a place of uncomfortableness, or a bedding. You see that? A place of no power. So in the ground, that's the soil. So this right here would be the soil, the place of affliction. All right? Breaking up of the seed. So who said that? Somebody said that recently. He said, you try to throw dirt on the seed and it grows. You try to, no matter who said it, but
it was a post basically like I don't know.
I just said it.
Yeah,
so you throw dirt on the seed and it grows. You throw dirt on the dead thing and they bury it. You know, but you throw dirt on the seed and it's gonna grow.
Yeah.
And that's what we represent. So you throw dirt on us, we're gonna grow. All right.
You throw dirt on them, they're just gonna lay there.
They're gonna lay there. You see that? Well, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna start back at the top for 16. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 16. And it says, and those that be dead will I rise up again from their places.
Right, so that's Ezekiel 37. He said, those that be dead will I rise up from their places, man. Talking about spiritually dead, he's gonna quicken us, bring us to life. He's gonna rise us up from our places, where? Being scattered around the four corners of the earth. All right, to stand upon their feet, a great exceeding army. Go ahead.
And bring them out of their graves, for I have known my name in Israel.
Right, so what happens when you see a plant? When you see a plant, when you see a plant in the ground, all right? Damn, demons. When you see the ground, you see something be planted in the ground, and about 2 weeks later, it begins to sprout up. That's it being brought out of its grave. That's it being brought into life, into motion. Just like the Lord has us sprouting up in the nighttime. You look at a plant, and they have something called night planting. So where you plant dealing with the nighttime, and you water it, and then the morning comes up, the mist hits it, the dew, the morning dew, and the sunlight. And then what happens? It grows more once the sun hits it. It blossoms. You see that? So we're growing in the night. We're sprouting up in the nighttime. You see that? And it's sprouting up out of the graves. But someday Yahweh Shah is going to shine. He's going to shine forth, and then we're going to blossom into the flowers. It's going to be seen who we are. It's going to be seen who's the wicked. It's going to be seen who are roses and tulips and wheat compared to the weeds, you know, the tares. All right? So this life is just like that. Yahweh Shah is the planter, the husbandman. You know, he's the gardener, the tiller of the ground. All right, he's the second Adam. All right? Go ahead, brother. You had that wash, bro. I mean, I wouldn't do it for no reason.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 17. It says, fear not, thou mother of the children. It's like, fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. For thy help I will send my servants, Isaiah and Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees.
Right, so even today, they're back here on this earth. So those same plants that sprout up, you begin to sprout, you know? But then eventually they're gonna grow up to big, giant trees, man. And that's what the brother was talking about. That's the end result. Revelation 22. And he said he saw them standing upon a sea of glass. You know, the one that didn't take the mark, 144,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. All right? And their leaves are going to be for the healing of the nation. So we started off in the ground first, being dead. And the Lord is going to grow us and water us and guide us and turn us. Just like you turn it towards the light, towards the sun, you know, your plant, and guide us all the way up until we're fully grown. Until we're able to what? Be memorial stones in the kingdom. And be able to heal the rest of our nation. Go ahead, brother.
All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 2, starting back from 18.
Right.
It says, for thy help I will send my servants Isaiah and Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with diverse fruits.
Right, so Isaiah and Jeremiah, they're back here today. And we speaking the words of Jeremiah and Isaiah. You see that?
Done.
All right, spoken through the 12 tribes of Israel today. We become the prophets. All right? The priesthood. Instead of it being just one individual named Jeremiah, now we speak the words of one individual. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 19. And as many fountains flowing with milk and honey, and 7 mighty mountains.
Cistern, drink in your own cistern.
And 7 mighty mountains whereupon there grow roses and lilies.
There you go.
Whereby I will fill thy children with joy.
There you go, man. That's everything we were just talking about. He says 7 mountains. That's talking about the 7 churches of Asia Minor that we were just reading earlier. All right? And he said what? He said rosebuds, meaning they were fully blossomed, man. You know? Fruitful plants. All right? A beautiful garden. We represent that garden of diverse flowers, of diverse colors. Go ahead, brother.
All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 20. Do right to the widow.
Oh, no, we had Matthew 13 and 18. Oh, yeah, bring that up real quick. So he said what? He said many streams of what? Of honey, of milk and honey. Right? He said, desire the sincere milk of the word. And this word is sweet as honey. All right? So we represent those streams. All right? Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15.
Right, from the river. We represent those streams that come from the river. Which come from what? The ocean. The fountain in the heavens.
This right here.
Yeah. Yeah, the ocean, which is the word of Yahweh from the heavens. And the streams from the river, Yahweh Shai, and the streams would be us. Going to the 12, damn, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15. Drink waters out of thine own cistern.
Right, our own cistern, that's given to who? The 12 tribes of Israel, spoken of in Revelation 22 and Revelation 12, go ahead.
And running waters out of thine own well.
Right, that way it said running waters, like a river. That's running waters. All right, out of thy well. But there's no bitter water there, Zabat.
Verse 16. Let thy fountains be dispersed abroad and rivers of water in the streets.
Right, so he said what? Wisdom crieth out in the streets. All right, so that's where we pour out our hearts at. You see that? You pour out your mind at. All right? And he said, out of thy belly shall flow rivers of living water. So we let that be dispersed in the streets and on the highways of the internet. Go ahead.
Verse 17. Let them be only thine own and not strangers with thee.
Right, no, not some strange doctrine or some fable. All right?
Let thy fountain be blessed and rejoice with the wife of thy youth.
Right, so let our fountains be blessed and favored and rejoice with the wife of our youth. What's the wife of our youth? Meaning our woman, which is wisdom, which has always been given to the children of Israel. All right? That's always been our woman. That's always been ours. But it was taken from us, and now it's been given back to us. All right? Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 13. The knowledge of a wise man shall abide like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. You got it.
Right, so he said what? The counsel is like a pure fountain of life, man. So it's about this counsel. So what happens when you find your way to wise counsel? You basically found your way back to the fountain, man. You found your way to the river. You know, like the old slaves used to sing, man. You know, or the follow the drinking gourd. Follow the drinking gourd. That was the song, man. They would say, follow the drinking gourd, follow the river. All right? And it leads you to the ocean, leads you to the promised land. And now we follow the river, we follow the streams. And y'all supposed to follow the streams. All right? Not nothing giving out bitter and sweet water. Matthew 13 and 18. You know what? No, let's start from Hebrews 10 and 12. Because that one's going to take us into something deep. Sower, you know what I mean?
Hebrews 10 and 12.
Yeah, I might look up right there. But go ahead.
You said Hebrews 10 and 12?
Yep.
This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 12. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of Yahweh. From henceforth, expecting till his enemies be made his footstool. For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sacrificed. Whereof the Holy Ghost also in a witness to us, and after that he has said before, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their hearts, and their minds will I write them.
Right. So what does that mean? The laws, that represent the spirit. So he gave us the spirit, right? The spirit of hope, the spirit of truth. But ultimately, we're still in this flesh. And someday, when the Lord takes us up into them chariots and delivers the children of Israel, he's going to give us new bodies, making us fully perfect then, man. All right? So that's the new covenant. You know? All right, preparing us into being those blossoming trees. I want to go into that Matthew, but I'm not though. Look at Ezekiel 37 and 12. Then we'll go from 18 to 32. Yeah, I can do that. Right, so this is basically like the Lord's garden, man. The vineyard. There you go. I was trying to find the word. Yep.
Ezekiel.
The vineyard represents the children of Israel. The field represents the world. All right.
This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12. It says, therefore, prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your grave.
Right, so that's just like I was talking about the plants. When you see a plant begin to sprout up out of the ground, that's it breaking up out of that soil. All right? He said he's going to cause us to come out of our graves. Go ahead, brother.
And bring you into the land of Israel.
All right, he's going to cause us to come up, and ultimately he's going to take you up into the chariots and carry you into the land of Israel, man. That's the end result of this. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. He says, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves.
Yeah, all the way 14.
Verse 14. And shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land, Then ye shall know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Right. And that goes along with Matthew 13 with the sower and the seed. And that seed represents the spirit of Yahushua. Some fell upon good ground, some fell upon thorns, some fell upon the soil, but it began to choke the word out of them. I'm not going to go into it, so we can move on. All right? So the Lord promises that, and he kept his word. All right? Now let's get Isaiah 52:1. So we got to break up that soil, so we can be risen up. Same way that plant is planted in the ground, into the earth. And then it sprouts up. Revelation 11:8. And then it sprouts up a little bit. Then the Lord has to water it. Then it has to be guided, and groomed. All right? That's why the scriptures say the axe is laid to the tree, to the root of the tree. Because the Lord is pruning us and trimming us. All right? Revelation 11, real quick.
This is the book of
This
is the book of Revelations 11 and 18.
Yeah.
8?
8, 11, 8.
All right, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, so that lets you know that's a prophecy saying that we're going to be scattered all around the four corners of the earth, even as far as over here to the west, called Babylon, what Esau calls America. All right, go ahead. He said we were spiritually dead, right? My bad, read that again.
God. Verse 8.
Right.
And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great...
These people are called Edomites. To understand this picture, you have to understand who Esau is and who Jacob is. And to understand this, you have to understand who Esau is, right? And who Jacob is. See the difference? Mm-hmm. So, without me even going too deep, I know you can see it, right? I got you. You seem pretty cool. All right, let's keep going.
All right, verse 8 at the top. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
Right, so our people are over here resting in this society, dead, man, spiritually dead, calling themselves niggas, black, spics, Indians, jigaboos, African, Egyptian, Muslim, everything, man. Christians. They calling themselves all of that except for Israelites. All right, go ahead. Trying to make sure I got the point. Oh, you already read it, didn't you? Yeah. Dead, right? Oh, spirit of life. Spirit of life entered into them. Keep going.
All right, verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves.
Right, so they did not help us find this truth. All right, they were confederate against us and helped us to be what? Destroyed through the lack of knowledge. 350 days represents 350 years. All the way up to the 1960s to where this truth started getting preached throughout America. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 10. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them and make merry, and shall sing gifts one to another.
Right.
Because these two prophets tormented them that dwelt on the earth.
Right, we already proved who the two prophets are, the northern and southern kingdom. All right, we proved that part already. Now let's go into it, because that's the spirit today. It's breaking down everything again of us being sprouted up and the spirit of life entering into us. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, now that spirit is not going to enter into a malicious soul. These jakes that think they know everything. You see that? It's not going to enter into that. Go ahead, brother. Get that Matthew 13. Let's get it. So that spirit went out through the four corners of the earth. Right? And let's see where it fell at. And you had some that even the spirit going out to guide Esau to do the Father's will. When he turned the courses of the minds of these kings to do the Father's will. And also the spirit landed on our people. Now let's see who it landed on. Go ahead, brother.
Start at verse 18.
Let's start at 18. Yep.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 18.
Right, this for the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Go ahead, brother.
Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower.
Right, the mystery of the sower, man. That's Yahushua, the tiller of the soil. Go ahead.
When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and casteth away that which was sown in his heart.
Right, so the devil helps to pluck that shit out of your mind by deceiving you into falling more into this world, man. And you don't get up, you just stay down. A just man will fall and get up 7 times. All right, go ahead.
This is he which receives seed by the wayside.
Right, these are those that receive the seed, the spirit by the wayside. All right, that spirit. These are those that receive that spirit by the wayside. Go ahead.
Verse 20. But he that received the seed into the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word and anon with joy receiveth it.
Right, so a brother walk up, hear that he an Israelite, and they like it, they enjoy it. They hear about they're gonna rule the world, and they all happy and hype. Go ahead, but then they go tell somebody about it and they get rejected, then they don't believe anymore either. Or they see somebody out here when they're teaching that they know, or their co-worker. Or they start making money. Or they get that woman that they always wanted that they couldn't get before. But when they get in the truth, they get more healthier, get more confident, get cleaner, and then they get that woman, now they walk away from the truth. They become a devil. Go ahead.
Verse 21. Yet hath he not root in himself.
Right, he had no root. He didn't rightly divide the word of truth. He wasn't studying to show himself approved. A person that just say he believed, but you're not trying to do the work. If you're not trying to do the work or fight for this truth, then you believing is vain, man. You don't truly believe. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. Period.
So by you walking away, you're showing your faith. You having faith in the system because you're going to get a job thinking the job is going to solidify you and hold you over till the time comes. So you're showing what you believe in by not coming out and teaching and dedicating your time to Esau's job system.
That's it, man. Period. Or your woman. Trying to fool somebody, man. Go ahead, bro.
All right.
These people playing games, man. I see right through that shit. Well, we see through it. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is back to Matthew chapter 13, verse 21. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while.
Yep, they'll be in the truth for a little while. Go ahead, and then as soon as somebody hurt their goddamn feelings, this happens.
For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by is he offended.
Right, see that? They get offended. and if you're ashamed of Yahushua, Yahushua gonna be ashamed of you in that day. He's gonna say, I don't know you, man. I don't know you. Get away from me, man. I don't know you, Eddie King.
He gonna do the big pun. I don't know you, man.
I don't know you, man.
Go that way.
Go that way, yeah. Yep. That's what he gonna say, man. He gonna look at Esau. He gonna say, that's your man. That's your man. He pointing at Jake. I don't know that nigga. That's your man.
Whose man is this?
Whose man is this? Whose man is this? Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word.
Right.
And
right. No, you good. Riches can be deceiving. They say money shall be a defense, and wisdom is a defense. But which one is better? Wisdom. So you can be deceived by money and think it's still protecting you, man. You can be deceived by this society, and you wind up trusting in uncertain riches. That good, man? Everybody yawning and shit? Go ahead,
I'm starting back from the top of 22.
We at war right now, man.
All right. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 22. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word and the care of this world.
Right. Our people don't care about nothing but this world, our everyday business. They don't care about the heavenly things. They care about carnal things, not spiritual things, man. They care about the things that women want. All right? And the things they can see.
And the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful.
Right, you start to become unfruitful, man, in your wisdom. All right, you start to lack wisdom. You start missing camp, and then the next thing you know, by the time you show up, the younger brothers in the camp, they became they done went off the milk and got to the meat, and you back on the milk. All right, and that's why they usually don't show back up, because that what's that feeling, man? Guilt and regret and guilt, and it eats away at them, man. You got to fight through that shit. That shame.
Yeah, that's the main thing, shame.
Yeah, that's a shame. They don't want to show back up and do the work, man.
Or they want to show back up in the same position where they left off in.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
They don't want to. They don't want to have to take that walk to get back to that. They don't want to start at rock bottom.
Yep. But they don't know that they're increasing in shame until the day of the Lord show up. All right, they're increasing in shame, man. When they're going to be completely shamed, they're going to be completely naked in that day. All right? Go ahead, bro.
Matthew 13:23. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some an 100-fold, some 60, some 30.
Right, so to bear fruit is to bear the wisdom. All right? He said what? Rightly dividing, study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. All right? That you shall not be ashamed, man. You know? So what? He said, oh, what's that? The candle on the bushel? Candle on the bushel? Yeah, man. There's a point in there I want to get real quick. All right, it's about your work. You know, you studying it and you coming out here teaching, it shows how much you've been studying. The things you can talk about. Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 14. It says, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Right.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it give light unto all that are in the house.
Right, man. He said, glorify your Father in heaven.
Next one.
Oh, go ahead.
Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Right, so that's why he said rightly divide the word of truth. All right, so you won't be ashamed, and you'll be able to give glory to the Father the correct way. And he said what? That they may see your good works. All right, they see you shining, man, studying and growing in the truth. All right, somebody got something? You look like you got something. Oh no, all right, go ahead. My bad. That was it?
Where you want me to stop at?
Where you at?
23.
Oh, where? What book?
I was selecting Matthew 13.
All right, go ahead, keep going all the 32.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 24.
Oh no, brother, I meant Revelations. No, I was like,
you fucked me up and I ain't even read.
Yeah, I meant read all the way to Revelations.
We need to switch on this one.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field.
Yep. That's that good seed, which is the spirit of truth. Go ahead.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat.
Right, so when we slept, what's that? The soil. Get a picture of the grass? While those seeds were in the soil, the enemy came and sowed seeds among them. All right? All right, you know? He sowed their seed in among them, the wicked. Go ahead.
But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way.
Right, that represents 2/3 of our people being wicked, and you heathens trying to mingle in with us. Go ahead.
But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also.
Right, so now we're in the times where that fruit is judge a tree by its fruit. Yep. So now, so when does a tree bear its fruit? We're in the time of prophecy when the prophecy's speaking. You see that? He said what? In the end time there shall come scoffers. Why? Because he knew we were gonna be out here prophesying. All right, because he's talking about these times right now. Let me know if somebody get it.
Matthew 7:17.
Yeah, God, I forgot what I asked for. So.
Judge the tree by its fruit.
Yep.
7:16.
Yep. Bring us.
Right.
You got it.
This is the book of Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
Right, because he knew in the foolishness of preaching, you should be saying. Let's get that real quick. Yep. So we're in the time of prophesying. Right before the prophecies happen, the Lord sends his prophets. You see that? So he knew we were going to be out here prophesying. So in the midst of that, you're going to have to judge a tree by its fruit, just like he told Adam to do. Don't eat from that tree. You can deal with these trees, but not from that one. So you judge a tree by its fruit again, spiritual. Go ahead. Oh, shit. Somebody, my bad.
This is 1 Corinthians 1:21. For after that, in wisdom of Yahweh, the world by wisdom knew not Yahweh.
Right, so he's made this about wisdom. It's a battle of the wise. You know, he said what? He has made the wisdom of this world foolishness. Go ahead.
It says, it pleased Yahweh by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe.
Right, because we're in the time of salvation. And the ones that are able to believe, that's why the Lord said you're going to have to be a preacher. You're going to have to be a prophet to make it out of here. Not in the church. You're going to have to come out here, man up, and do this work. And wake your people up before America get destroyed. All right? Not trying to be the next LeBron. You want to be the next Yahushua. Or the next Paul. Or the next Peter. All right?
I'm going to go up a little bit more because you have set a point that
okay.
comes right here.
Yeah, if I forget it, you can speak on it.
All right, 1 Corinthians 1:19. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Yep. All right, so basically he's destroying the wisdom of the wise, the worldly wisdom. But what does it say in Jeremiah 9:23? It said, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom.
Right.
It's talking about the wisdom of this world. All right, it says, where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Because, all right, so you have these other forms of wisdom that dispute, that contend against us. So they become our contenders. What does it say? I shall make your foreheads hard against their foreheads. So we're actually contending against other philosophies, all right? Displaying the truth.
Yep.
It says, where is the disputer of this world? Have not Yahweh made foolish the wisdom of this world? And that's what he's doing with the truth. All right, so the line that was put out first, it doesn't matter what come out first, but just like two kids that are fighting in the room, the one that's gonna tell the lie gonna run out and give his testimony first.
Yep.
And 9 times out of 10, when the second one comes out to give his testimony, all right, it's not unbiased because it's based upon the testimony that was given by the first. So now we're coming in the testimony of Yahweh Shai as the spirit of prophecy, prophesying the truth. All right, against the world full of lies.
Got one for you. You can speak on it too. 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds.
Pulling down the strongholds. And what is one of the major strongholds of our people? Christianity. And just any other form of philosophy. Lies is really the downfall of our people.
Yep.
All right.
Casting down imaginations.
All right, and look at this whole society. It's the imagination of Esau. All right, and our people want to take part and have placement here. All right.
Yep, and casting down their lies, their fables.
And casting down their lies and their fables.
Yep, false doctrine. Yep. It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua.
All right, so he's bringing into captivity every thought. All right, and who has exalted himself over Yahweh according to 2 Thessalonians, all right, chapter 2. Esau had, and that was his whole purpose. He said in his mind, and said in his heart, he imagined that thing. How did he do it? He did it with the money, with the weapons, and the religion, all right? So that's how he set himself up to be as the Most High. That's why he's trying to create one world government with the new world order, because that's the same thing Yahweh Shai is going to do, but it's according to his order, all right? Oh, this is skank? Yeah. Them things are fast.
Yeah. They don't bite though. I mean, that little ain't gonna bite.
Big one gonna bite.
Yeah. I might grab it. I don't like the way they slither like snakes.
Yeah, I like that one, man. I got blue on it. You can catch them stuff like that. It's cool. Show everybody what's down here in Jacksonville.
He's trying to get some water. We're trying to get the word.
All right, where we at?
I would read Matthew 13.
Jesus' fruit by his tree.
Yeah.
All right, this is Matthew chapter 13, verse 26. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto me, he said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
Right, so somebody got that 2/3 we cut off. Yep, and the sift, Amos 9.
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire and refine them as. Hold on, wait.
Oh.
All right, verse 8. It says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
That's right, man. So 2 parts gonna be cut off and die. All right, and that's clear. So how are they gonna be cut off? Meaning what? They're gonna be written in the book of death, not in the book of life, man. All right, so they're gonna be cut off, meaning what? They're gonna be destroyed for lack of knowledge. And the Lord gonna cut them off from their part in salvation. All right, He's gonna cut them their portion with the wicked. Go ahead, brother. Yeah, Amos. 9.
Yeah, Amos 9.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Amos 9 and 9.
Yep.
For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth.
Right, so the number that the Lord called, the 144,000, the least of them is going to be as David. The Lord not going to let that person fall. You see that he's not going to lose any that were given to him. All right, the ones that were given to him, he gonna give them strength, man. The Lord gave him the green light to operate and build them. So he's gonna lift them up, not the least grain. The least among them shall be greater than John. All right, go ahead, brother. I want to get back to my point. I'll make sure I don't lose my point.
This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 28. He said unto them, an enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up?
Right, just like you Black Panthers that want to go gather black people that look your color. But you'll be killing Israelites if you think you're killing the Edomite or killing a Chinese man or whatever person. And the scriptures say, he that without sin cast ye the first stone. All right, so all of us are sinners. So we can't go around killing anybody. We got to wait on the Lord. And he said, what? He's going to do the filtering and the sifting. And 2/3 of our people are going to be what? Cut off and sifted out. All right, go ahead, brother.
Go on. Verse 29, Matthew 13 and 29.
Right, those seeds that were planted in the soil that you can't tell what it is until they sprout up. And when they sprout up, you still can't tell the difference between the wheat and the tare until they're fully grown, until the time of harvest. And we're in the time of harvest now. And that's when it's going to be fully known who's who on the earth, who's wicked, who's righteous. Go ahead, brother.
Matthew 13 and 29. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Yep. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together the first tares, and bind them in the bundles to burn them.
Right, so he said, gather together first the tares and put them in bundles to burn them, meaning what? Cut them their portion with the wicked, man. Bind them up. Scriptures say whatever is bound in heaven shall be bound in the, on the earth shall be bound in heaven. So he sent us to bind these people up. He told Peter that. And we have that same power. When we teaching people and we cursing them, what did the Lord say? He told the angels in Ezekiel 9 to place a mark upon the men that sigh and cry, creating that separation. All right, go ahead, brother.
It says, but gather the wheat into my barn.
So the wheat represents the hopeful elect. All right, that's something you can make bread with. You see that? All right, that's something you can make bread and feed the rest of the people with. Where the leaves will be for the healing of the nation. All right, but 2/3 you can't heal people with them. All right, so it says what? Gather the rest into the barn. What's his barns? That's what? That's where you take your cattle. You keep them safe from a storm. That's the chariots. All right. What do he call them? Chambers. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, brother. I know you got it. Yeah. He called it apartment in the sky.
All right. This is Isaiah chapter 26. I'm gonna start at verse 20. It says, "Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed."
Right, and that's twofold. We hiding ourselves spiritually now under the shadow of the Almighty and under his wings. But ultimately, in his wings, we're going to trust. He's going to hide us in his chariot above the firmament, looking down at the destruction. All right? So you got chambers waiting on you, a deluxe apartment. That's what apartment means, to set you apart from everybody. It's going to separate you from the earth. All right? He's going to take you up in a chariot. You got something? Oh, go ahead, brother.
Going back at Matthew chapter 13, verse 31.
Yep.
Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field.
Right, man. So Yahushua took that one grain of mustard seed, that faith, and he sowed it in the field, man, into the world. Go ahead.
Verse 32, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs.
What did he say? He chose one cluster of the grape? Grape of the cluster? Yeah, man. So you look at a mustard seed and you put it in a group of a bunch of different seeds, it's the tiniest of all the seeds. See, what the Lord is talking about is the beginning of things, right? He's talking about seeds, man, and crops, you know? So now he done flipped it. He's talking about a mustard seed. It's the smallest of all the seeds. But if you plant it in the soil, it becomes the biggest of all the trees, man. That small thing, if you have faith and keep watering it and keep grooming it, it'll grow and blossom. And that's how the kingdom's gonna be. All right, he said, kingdom shall never end. It's in Daniel. And the kingdom shall be forever. Yeah, that one. Everlasting kingdom? Yeah. That one, man. That's it. That's it. Oh, he said one shall become 1,000? Nah.
I got you.
You got that one?
Daniel's.
Oh, he took that one.
This is Daniel's chapter 7, verse 27.
Yeah.
And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall be, all dominion shall serve and obey him.
Right, so now read that again about the mustard seed. That's going to break it down.
Come on, this is Matthew chapter 13, verse 32.
Yeah.
It says, which indeed is the least of all seeds. Verse 31. Another parable put he forth among them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like to a grain of mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field.
Right.
which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it is the greatest among herbs, and becometh a tree.
Right, so the field is the world. Out of all the field, he created what? All the nations, and he chose Israel. All right, out of all the nations, he gave all of them his boundary, and he chose Israel out of all the nations. You got that? The cluster? Great book of cluster? Yeah, no, yeah.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 22. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my great...
Go one more.
Come on. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 21. It says, and I saw and spared it greatly.
Oh, one more.
Verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold.
Right, the world is the field. What are you talking about? Go ahead.
So I considered the world, and behold.
Instruction, go ahead.
It says, and I saw and spared greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a great people.
Right, the Lord loves the children of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He hates everybody else. Go ahead.
Verse 22.
He said he kept him a grape of the cluster. That
yeah, then you go to verse 22.
is it? I don't know. You reading it? I can't tell. But
I'll read 21 again. It says, and I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Verse 22. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
So all these other nations were born in vain. Even 2/3 of our people were born in vain. You see that? Go ahead. That was it. Oh.
And let my grape be kept.
There you go, man. So that's the mustard seed. That's that one seed, that mustard seed, talking about the children of Israel. That's going to what? Blossom into a great kingdom upon this earth, starting from one, Yahushua, and blossom it into what? Thousands, millions, a righteous kingdom upon the earth. You got that? You already read it? Daniel? You already read it, Daniel? Dang, man.
I got
Isaiah 60 and 21. That's cool. It's just. Can you read it again?
Yeah. This is Daniel chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 27. It says, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
Right, so these Edomites, all these nations going to serve and obey us real soon. You see that? You can get them. All of them. Right on time. So that's about to happen. Real quick. We're going to bounce it off with this one. Go ahead. Isaiah 60. So what's that mustard seed that's going to branch off into a mustard tree? That's talking about the nation and kingdom of Israel, built upon faith, man. All right? That's how big your faith is going to become, where you can move mountains. Go ahead, brother. Move a whole, and by mountains, it's talking about Esau's mountain. Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 21.
You gotta bring that power, bro.
Thy people also shall be all righteous.
There you go.
They shall inherit the land forever.
Can you
the
hear?
branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
Yep. You be a little louder. I know you got it, man.
I'll read it again.
Yeah, one more.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 21.
Yep.
Thy people also shall be all righteous.
So who's gonna be all righteous, vocab? The children of Israel. Though they're wicked right now, he said 2/3 not gonna make it. So what is that talking about? He said all Israel shall be saved. How? They're gonna come back in the kingdom. So the Lord loves us, man. Go ahead, brother.
They shall inherit the land forever.
So we're gonna inherit that land forever. So we don't have that land right now. It's gonna be given back to us. Go ahead.
The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
Right, the branch of his planting. That's what we were just reading about. We were just reading about that. The branch of his planting. So the Lord is the one that planted us, man. The sower. You see that? Go ahead. The branch. We represent the branches. Go ahead.
22.
Yep.
Bring that power up.
A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation.
See, that's a mustard seed becoming a mustard tree. All right, a big giant blossoming tree with many branches and leaves for the healing of the nations. Go ahead.
I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
Right, so in the kingdom, there's gonna be a lot of popping going on. So to bring you idiot knuckleheads back, like children. That's what you is, damn children.
Badass children.
Badass children. You're gonna be some badass kids.
Baby kids.
Right, man. Exactly. Badass kids. So he said, what? That last part?
Oh, sorry. I, the Lord, will hasten in it in its time.
So he's gonna hasten it. How? In the time of Jacob's trouble, the Lord said he's gonna what? Shorten the time. And in the kingdom, he's gonna bring back a speedy recovery, he says. A speedy recovery of the children of Israel. All right? A speedy recovery means we're gonna have a lot of women.
What is that? Fuck them, don't stop. Fuck them, fuck them.
Yeah, he gonna real quick. He gonna what? He gonna make us renewed and it's gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. Did you know that? It's in the Bible.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, let's keep going though. Let's sidetrack. Isaiah 37:12. Yep.
This is Isaiah chapter 37, verse 12.
He has planted us, man. He has planted us, man. But go ahead.
It says, have the gods of the nations delivered them which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan and Haran and
37:12.
Isaiah.
Ezekiel.
Oh, Ezekiel. Wow. This is Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 12. It says, therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel.
Right, so if you see a plant blossoming out of the ground, he planted us in the grave, and what? We blossoming out of that grave. He causing us to come out of those graves, man. Spiritually, all right? A plant from the seed that he planted upon good soil. Go ahead. But the soil has to be tilled and broken up first. Go ahead, brother. You're gonna have us what? Dirt, and ultimately blossom out of the dirt. Go ahead, brother. That was it?
14. Okay. Verse 14, it says, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Wow, I just saw another scripture to end it off with too. That's crazy. But yo, he said, what? He can put a spirit in us. And that's that seed that we're talking about, the sower and the seed. All right? So now, we got time, Isaiah 52:1.
Come on. We got 6% left.
All right, cool. Let's try to knock these out real quick. We got one more, two more. Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 52, verse 1.
3.
Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city.
Oh, read that again?
Come on. This is Isaiah 52:1. It says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion.
Right, awake from being dead, awake from being. See that? Go ahead.
Put on thy beautiful garments, O Jerusalem.
So put on thy beautiful garments, put on righteousness. Be covered with Yahushua. All right? Put on the ways of old.
Shake thyself from the dark. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem.
All right, and that's what you see. A rose buds, it shakes itself from the dust, comes out of the ground. All right? And that's what the Lord telling us to do. So we'll become those strong blossoming trees that is spoke about in Revelation 22 and with the mustard seed. All right? Go ahead, brother.
Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion.
Right, man. The bands of sin. All right? That's how you loose yourself from sin, is by what? The one that has the keys to hell and death. Keys to them handcuffs. Go ahead, brother.
For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, ye have sold yourselves for naught.
Right, we sold ourselves to the enemy for nothing. You know, but the Lord brought us back with his life. Ain't that something? The Redeemer. Spoken of in Deuteronomy 28. Where he said, no man shall buy you, but Yahweh shall. Right, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we're the true kings on this earth. We're about to rule. Go ahead, brother.
And ye shall be redeemed without money.
That's right. He said, what? Buy of me without money. All right, so we're going to be redeemed by Yahushua. That was it, right? Go on. All right, let's get to the next scripture. Psalms 113 and 6, all the way to 8.
This is Psalms chapter 113, verse 6. It says, who humbled himself to behold the things. It says, who humbled himself to behold the things that are in heaven and in earth. He raised
of that plant, of that growth. All right? So he's the us up out of the dunghill. Go ahead, brother.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up.
Come on with it, man.
The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust and the beggar from the dunghill to set him among princes and make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them.
Hey man, let's go ahead and end it with this. Revelation 22 and 13. Somebody get it quick as they can.
This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 13. I am Alpha and Omega.
Wait, start from 12.
It's the last page in the book.
13.
All right, this is Revelation chapter 22, verse 12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work.
Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13.
Right.
I am the Alpha and Omega.
Right, so Yahushua was here in the beginning, and now he's going to show himself in these last days. All right, that's why the scriptures say don't drink out in public. You know what I mean? How you doing that, man? And now he's sober, he probably like, what the hell's out here doing? I'm tripping. Go ahead, bro.
I am the Alpha and Omega.
Right.
The beginning and the end.
So he's the beginning, and he's about to show up in the midst of World 3. And his name is Yahushua. He's bringing judgment. Go ahead.
The first and the last.
Right.
You said 13?
Yeah.
No, that was it. All right, verse 14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they might have right to the tree of life.
Right, so if you keep his commandments to the best of your ability, all right, it's 613 commandments. You keep them to the best of your ability. The main commandment is to have faith in Yahushua. All right? He said what? Then you'll have access to the tree of life. You'll have access to wisdom. You see that? Go ahead, brother.
And may enter into through the gates into the city.
So to be able to enter in through, what's that? The straight gate. To be able to come out here and teach. To be able to enter into the rest with Yahushua. To go into the kingdom when he shows up. All right, that's the process. Keep the law, get wisdom. With all that getting, get wisdom, and go out and teach others. And then ultimately you'll enter into the sheepfold. All right, go ahead.
Verse 15. For without are dogs.
So without, if you're not in that circle, in Amos 9 and 8, like the brother read, you're outside of that, man. You're outside of the ark. You're a dog, a heathen. Go ahead.
And sorcerers.
And sorcerers, man. That's all you people are doing. Sorcery, man. Go ahead.
And whoremongers.
Whoremongers.
And murderers.
Murderers, spiritual murders and physically.
And idolaters.
And idolatry, man. That's everybody. All these people. Go ahead.
And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
That's you people that get the chip. You're going to show that you love that lie. Go ahead.
Yahushua.
And Esau, because they make the lie. Go ahead, the father of the lies.
Verse 16. I, Yahushua, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches.
That's right, man. The 7 angels. There you go. Go ahead.
I am the root and the offspring of David.
There you go. Look at that root again. All right. The root. Yeah, the lineage. There you go. That's that tree. That's the original vine. Go ahead, brother. The Israelites.
And the bright and morning star.
All right. That's Yahushua, the true bright morning star. Go ahead, brother.
And the spirit and the bride say, come, and let him that heareth say, come.
Right, so the spirit is saying, come, and the bride, the children of Israel, we are here saying, Kwam Yasha'Allah, the same way. You see that? Keep going, brother.
And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely.
That's right, man. So with that, man, we're going to end it there, man. All right, take the water of life freely so you'll be watered. All right? Take of this word freely so you what? Be growing strong like a big blossoming mustard tree or olive tree, being anointed. And let's get that again, Revelation 22. Let's end it with that. Quick as you can, we got like 1 minute.
This is Revelation, chapter 22, verse 2. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12.
Oh, you gotta start from top.
Start all the way from the top? Yeah. This is Revelation chapter 22. I'm gonna start at verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the